morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. You need to be here. We are live with 100% Cup Series live from Daytona International Speedway. I am James Parfitt, and I'm going to be guiding you through all the action this evening, joined in the booth by Michael David later on, who will be joining me very, very shortly. Now, we are here at Daytona, track length of 3.99 kilometers in length, or 2.5 miles. Banking of 31 degrees, laps. We're going to be doing 160 laps this evening, and we are in race 26. This is the final race before we enter into the playoffs next week at Darlington. So you want to stay tuned for this. It's going to be absolutely incredible racing. We are here, episode 2, Attack of the Cokes. Well, what does that mean? Well, every car is running a soft drink livery, a soda livery of some sorts that we will have a look through at very, very shortly. We're coming towards the end of practice. We've got about 8.5 minutes remaining of practice. So, yeah, she's definitely go and get your drinks, go and get your popcorn, go and get a big pot of coffee if you have one, because you're gonna need it. We're gonna have 160 laps. Hopefully we're not gonna have any safety cars. Now, I'm entirely optimistic about this one, that we're gonna be running 160 laps without safety cars. That's my theory, that's my philosophy, and maybe it might happen, maybe it will happen, probably might happen. But we are here, guys, as well. Don't forget, you can check out all of the links below for the 100 Cup Series as well on Twitter and Instagram. And go and check out the JPBroadcasters Twitter website, and email address is there as well. One of the things we do want to talk about, guys, and it's important here for us at the 100% Cup as well, is there is a link for a GoFundMe down below. Now, what does this mean? Basically, we've got a GoFundMe running here. It's hashtag Jimmy Strong Funding. Now, one of our driver's nephews is currently in stage 4, I believe, cancer. Okay, he's in stage 4, battling stage 4 cancer. It's the hashtag we're using to support him, so please go and go onto the GoFundMe, donate anything you can, guys. We know times are tough, so please, anything, anywhere, anything possible. But it's Dustin Hall's nephew. Dustin is running a #1 car, and it's his nephew that basically is battling stage 4 cancer. So if you can, go and down onto the GoFundMe. That would be absolutely incredible. We're going to bring Michael into the booth. Michael, good evening, young sir. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
I'm all right, mate. Do you know what? I'm fairly sprightly this evening. Looking forward to this one, mate. I've got to be honest.
Yeah, no, this should be an exciting race. It's Daytona. There's always the chance of the big one. So yeah, tonight should be very exciting. It is heartbreaking to hear about the one car's nephew, though. Please, if you guys can, go ahead and donate whatever you can, if you can. Stage 4 cancer is just terrible situation there. But yeah, no, super excited to be here. This is the first time that I've ever done an oval race like this before. Driven on them plenty of times, but nowhere near as fast as these guys are. I see the 29 car, Marty, up there with a 45.22. That is blistering fast. So yeah, excited to be here. I know it's quite late in the morning, late in the evening, early morning for you. So I hope that pot of coffee is nice and large for you, and I hope you're ready to go, because I sure am.
Well, the coffee's on, so it'll be all good. I'm not worried about that at all. As you can see, the times are flicking running across the top of your screen. Currently, we've got a 45.22. Is the best time set by Tanner Marty there as well. Tanner in the number 29 car this evening, closely followed by car number 77 of Dalton Mobley, who is currently third in the standings at a 45.62. Now, qualifying was run earlier on Michael. That's correct, isn't it? And qualifying's already been done and dusted.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, they actually had 2 qualifying sessions, one yesterday and then a last chance qualifier that was finished up earlier this afternoon. So our qualifying has been set. The grid is ready to go. And we can go over that if you have that information. I'd be more than happy to.
Yeah, well, we've got Robert Anderson will be in pole position on a fastest time of a 1:49.833. Jason Taylor in second. Blake Gigolo in third. Michael Christopher in fourth. Matt White fifth. Sean O'Brien Jr. in sixth. Ralph Hutchinson is in seventh. Jason Baker eighth. Randy Drumhiller in ninth. Raymond Root in 10th. Jonathan Delaney in 11th. Devin Medeiros is in 12th. Derek Heitman 13th. Robert Tracy 14th. Joseph Stanford 15th. Brandon Hastings 16th. Tanner Marty will be down in 17th. Dustin Hall 18th. Zach Roethlisberger is in 19th. Bryson Peterborough in 20th. Adam Benefiel is in 21st. Lucas Hoitzman is in 22nd. Matt DeCanny is in 23rd. Carl Ammon is in 24th. Then we've got Patrick Moat in 25th. Josh Ward 26th. Kevin Steele in 27th. Damian Acrienza in 28th. Lance Ripka 29th. Preston McRae in 30th. Cameron Stone 31st. Sammy Burry in 32nd. Chris Cloud in 33rd place. Then on to the numbers after that. 35, we've got Alexander is in 34th. Damaris Hickenbottom in 35th. Chad Sana at 36th. Jeff Hooper 37th. Brandon Pierce 38th. Dalton Mobley in 39th. And Adam Princeton is in 40th place. Now, just for anybody that isn't tuned into this series before, Michael, you know, we've got stage 1 and stage 2. Just for the guys that don't understand what that means, can you fill us in and just let us know what the stage 1 and stage 2 is all about?
The simplest terms here is it basically breaks up our race into 2 different parts. Stage 1 is going to be 35 laps. At the end of that 35th lap, we're going to go ahead and have a caution that's going to slow the field down. It's going to give people opportunity to go ahead and take a caution flag pit stop, get everybody sorted. We'll go ahead and start it back up for the second stage of 95 laps. And so that's going to give you a bit of strategy. There are going to be some refueling, some pit stop strategies that are going to be needed to be made, whether you want to stop beforehand and get an advantage. But that grid is pretty much set at the end of that first stage. So once you come in here, it's gonna be pretty interesting. I know a lot of people in regular NASCAR kind of pick or choose. Do you want to go in early before the end of the stage, get fresh tires then come out and have a stronger second stage? Or do you want to go for the first stage, try to win it or get as far up front as you can and set yourself up for a decent second stage? So there's quite a bit of strategy involved here. So should be exciting to see which way these drivers go.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, guys, we have got a tyre limit of 7 sets of tyres. We've got an incident limit of 13. We're going to try it. We've got 3 attempts to finish under the green flag. So we're going to give 3 attempts to finish the race under the green flags. You see the weather on the right-hand side of your screen. Currently August 27th, 2022. So we've gone back in time a day. 7 o'clock in the evening, 27 degrees track temperature, partly cloudy. Now, one of the interesting things I think we're looking at as well is, you know, if they bring rain, we discuss rain quite often. If they bring rain into iRacing, rain on an oval,
it's not going to happen.
Oh,
no,
tell me that.
NASCAR will not run on ovals in rain. They do run on street circuits, actually, or not street circuits, but road courses, as they kind of sort of did at Watkins Glen last weekend. It was very damp at the beginning. They did delay the start of the race, but they will run on wet tires on road courses. Oval courses, it's just not safe enough. It will not happen.
Oh, that would be exciting on a 160-lap race, wouldn't it? Rain on an oval. Rain on an oval. AJ Musselman, go Alex VDS. He says in YouTube chat. So who is that Alex van der Zandt.
Alexander van der Zandt.
Alexander van der Zandt. Go Alexander van der Zandt, says AJ there as well. So thank you, AJ, very much for that one. We've got about 8 seconds remaining of qualifying here. Warm up, sorry, not qualifying. It's late, it'll be okay. So we'll wait for the results to come up, and we'll see if it will. Oh, Randy Drumhiller there involved in a wreck. Let's not make sure we don't get that this evening, because that's the last thing we need tonight.
Hey, that's nice. That's not the normal Porsche car there. Let's go ahead and go through these starting grid. We got Robert Anderson in first place, Jason Taylor second place, third place Blake Gigolo, fourth place Mike Christopher, fifth place Matt White, sixth place is Sean O'Brien Jr., seventh place is Ralph Hutchison, eighth place Jason Baker, ninth place Randy Drumheiler, 10th place Randy Root, 11th place Jonathan Delaney, 12th place is Devin Medros. 13th is Derek Heitman. 14th is Rob Tracy. 15th, Joe Stanford. 16th, Brandon Hastings. 17th place, we have Tanner Marty. 18th is Dustin Hall. Zach Roethlisberger in 19th. Brian Hicksenbaugh in 20th. Adam Benefiel in 21st. 22nd is Lucas Hoitzma. 23rd is Matt DiCiani. 24th is Kyle Amon. 25th is Mush. I don't have a first name for that one. I'll have to look that up. 26th is going to be Josh Ward. 27th, Kevin Steele. 28th is Damian Arcerenzia. Ooh. And then as we see here, we got the last couple of rows here. 29th is Lance Ripka. 30th, Preston McRae. Cameron Stone in 31st. Chris Cloud in 32nd. Adam Vanderzant in 33rd. Demarius Hickenbottom in 34th. Chad Sander in 35th. Jeff Hooper in 36th. Brandon Pierce 37th. Dalton Mobley 38th, and rounding out the top 39 is Alex Prince.
Yeah, that's Patrick. Yeah, Patrick. So here we go, guys. We've gone by 160 laps to go. And be aware, it's going to be absolutely amazing. We're just waiting for the green flag.
I was trying to say earlier, I like that pace car, the Mustang pace car. Usually it's the Porsche pace car, but this one's the Mustang. I like it.
Oh, that's good, doesn't it? It looks good. We have got car 39 in the pits there as well. Carl Ammon is currently in the pits as we're coming around for this warm-up lap, guys, as well. So stay tuned, because it's going to be absolutely incredible. Jason Taylor in second, Mike Christopher in third, Blake Gigolo in fourth, Sean O'Brien is in fifth. I do like the Mustang pace car. It looks good, doesn't it? Pace car's in. Robert Anderson is now leading the pack away. Here we go, we're on the Gaps of Daytona Speedway here this evening, and it is pretty much Robert Anderson, Blake Gigolo, Mike Christopher leading us off as we go there.
Looks like he was blocking on the bottom there. We got that second line going up top as we see Giglio is taking the lead here, getting that nice push by Mike Christopher. And then up on the top row there, we see the 12th car of Taylor coming around. So very nice clean start so far. Field is pretty packed up all the way through the back.
Oh, there's been incident at the back. There has been an incident at the back of the field. And it started here.
We got our first caution flag of the race.
Oh, that is Zach Roethlisberger coming back across the track. A lot of cars involved in that one there as well. Lance Ripka, Chad Sanner, Jeff Hooper, Alex Vander Smit was off track, Brandon Pierce, Damien Acrienza as well. Jeff Hooper jumped to the pit. Zach Roethlisberger, Lance Ripka, all in the pits already. And we got a caution flag on lap, well, I'm going to say 2. Don't forget as well, these guys have got no fast repairs, okay? So there is no fast repairs for them guys involved in that incident at the beginning. And let's see if we can have another look back. I'm going to start off with Brandon Pierce. Oh, it started a little bit before that, I believe. A caution flag was out early. And we'll see if we can catch where it started off. There we go. There is the contact onto the 23. That is Zach Roethlisberger. He comes back into the track, and that is where the other cars were involved in it. And it's a difficult one because we sit back and say, hold your brakes. But the field checked up there for car number 29, and there was just nowhere for him to go. Could he have held his brakes, do you think? Because the wheels are still spinning.
Yeah, it's going to be a little different from road racing to oval tracks. You're going to have to check up, and it's really on the lead car to make it obvious, but it's on the following car to always pay attention to what's going on around them and in front of them, especially. But unfortunately, incidents like that are just going to happen. There's just, especially at the beginning of the race, you're going to have people checking up, and it's unfortunately Zach Roethlisberger and a few other cars are on the downside of that incident, and hopefully they are able to get those repairs in. Obviously, they don't have any fast repairs, but maybe the damage won't be so bad that they don't lose too much time in the pits.
Yeah, well,
as we see a couple cars exiting here.
Alex Princeton, Tanner Marty, Kevin Steele, Patrick Mosch, Kyle Ammon is in the pits as well. Demiris Hinkenbottom is in, and he's out. Obviously, you've got the car, Lance Ripka, Jeff Hooper, Zach Roethlisberger, who was involved in that incident. Brandon Pierce as well has been in there for a while. Chad Sana, Matt Dicciani is still in there as well. Damien Acrienza as well are in the pits there. So Chad Sana is out and looking at joining on to the back of the pack. I think, though, with that kind of scenario, as you say, it's a difficult one because we've got 40 cars on track. And as we saw there, they did check up in front. And was that an anticipation from Zach's? Did Zach not anticipate that they were going to check up then, do you think? And it just wasn't on the ball almost.
No, it's not necessarily that. It could honestly just be, it is the first lap. He had a strong run coming out down the backstretch, and it could have just been like unlucky timing that they checked up on the coming into turn 3, and he just had a strong run, couldn't go anywhere. These things do happen, especially early in the race, and especially here at Daytona. You're always looking out for the big one. It just happened that we had quite a big one on lap 1 there.
Yeah,
it's just unfortunate.
We've still got quite 4 cars in the pits. I think Zach Roethlisberger is out. Don't believe he's out on track. I believe he is out. So Zach Roethlisberger there as well. Brandon Pierce still in the pits. Lance Ripka, Jeff Hooper, Damien Acrienza as well. He's back out, but he's currently a lap down. So we did have a very, very large incident at the beginning, guys. We can bring you back through for you to have a look. And look at the checkup there from car number 29 as well. And that's Tanner Marty. And that just led to, unfortunately, a knock-on effect there for Zach Roethlisberger, who unfortunately come back into the middle of the track. And there was quite a few cars involved. We've still got one. We've got 1 out, 3 in the pits, 1 a lap down. So, yeah, let's see whether or not these guys can carry on. Still leaves us with 35 cars on track. Here we go again. Pace car is in. Blake Gigolo is leading us away, and we are racing once again. Let's see if we can get past a full green flag lap with these 35 cars on track. Blake Gigolo currently leading the way in the lines. We got two lines, Blake leading one, Jason Taylor leading the other, and they're all touch wood currently at the moment. Away again, Michael. We are off and racing once again.
Yeah, it looks like we got a clean start here as we see these cars coming down the backstretch into turn 3 and then into turn 4. See here. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on my rankings here.
The interesting thing is that there's a gap opening up here. From round about there with Cameron Stone to the next lot of cars behind him.
So what you're going to see here is this is going to be quite a common thing. You're going to have a couple different groups who have a leader pack, and then you're going to have a couple other packs that are going to be drafting together to try to catch back up to the leaders. These cars can work together by staying in a tight formation here, and they can work their way back up to that lead pack. But if some of these cars have some damage, they might not be able to do so just because of the fact that they might have some mechanical damage unseen. So it really all depends, but in a perfect world, in their situation, what they want to do is work together, draft each other, get back on that lead pack, and see if they can move back up the field.
Yeah, Damaris Hinkenbottom is leading the next cars of 6 to try and catch back up onto the pack. Everybody at the moment, they've kind of dropped these 6 cars at the moment, and it's not good for them. They really need to jump on, if they can, onto the back of car number 46, which is Patrick Moge there, to try and drag themselves back along here as well. Blake Gigolo from Low Drag Esports is leading away with Mike Christopher, Robert Anderson, Matt White, Jason Baker, Raymond Root as well is in this pack. We're split into 2 rows, guys, as well. So we've got the inside row and the outside row running around 2 section wide here tonight at Daytona, currently on lap 8 of 160. Do we look at the fact that there is almost, from where car number 12 is, Jason Taylor doesn't seem to be keeping up with the guys in the front. He seems to be dropping the line off. He's just had Ralph Hutchinson move out in front of him. It's almost like to try and drag him along around that outside line. And there's that little bit of a gap there. From a driver's point of view on an oval, if you're in the second column on the outside, is it best to be where they are, or is it best to be right up beside the leader?
It all depends situationally. Obviously, you want to be as far up forward as you can, but it really depends on how much of a push you're getting from behind, how fast that top line or that bottom line can go. On a track like Daytona, the bottom line is usually the faster line, but the top line can be very quick. It all depends on how many cars you got behind you pushing you.
I think that's going to be the important thing. You can see here Jason Taylor in the 12 car, bump drafting Ralph Hutchinson along on the outside. They guys have just moved that outside column up into the lead position. They were about 5 or 6 car lengths back, coming up at the moment as we see a car coming out the pits there as well. And that outside column now was kind of really thought to sit back and forth and made that move to come forward and to sit almost side by side with that bottom column. And I think at the end of the day, they've kind of got to stay there, really. They don't really want to be trying to drop back and then having to chase their tails for the next 150 laps.
The one thing is you definitely want to stay with the lead pack. Obviously, and coming up here, we're 10 laps in. We got 25 laps left until the first stage is over. But honestly, right now, it's just kind of more of a sit and wait. You want to stay patient, keep your nose clean, stay out of trouble early in the race. It's kind of a waiting game. You want to work your way towards the front, but you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to shoot yourself in the foot. You want to stay out of trouble early in the race. It's a race of attrition. It's not a short sprint. You want to stay up ahead as best as you can.
Yeah, Damaris now got the gap down to Tanamai to about 3 seconds There is a 4-car pack currently. There's 5, 6 cars in this pack. And they're trying to push on to the back of Tanner Marti. They lost a bit of time, and they're now trying to catch up onto the main pack. It's almost like the peloton in the Tour de France trying to catch the leaders. And Damaris is in a very precarious position at the moment. He's sitting 24th in the point standings. Needs to be staying within that top 25 in the points to be able to qualify for the playoffs. Now, they qualify for the playoffs maybe either winning a race or being in the top 25. And I think that's the important thing to remember here as well. They've got to be within that top 25. And at the end of the day, that is what these guys are striving to do. As we can see, the outside column led by Ralph Hutchinson again, dropping about 6 cars back, 5 cars back from the lead line on the inside. Would you really want to be that far back this early on? You know, I know it's kind of a draft game, and I know, you know, ovals can have a massive effect. It doesn't take much for Jason Taylor in the 12 car, who's moved his way back into the lead of that lower column. And, you know, he was on that outside line. He drafted Mike Christopher, now dropped him back into the lead column of the bottom line. And it seems that outside column currently at the moment are not making the strides that they had done. You know, we've got car number 54, that's Ralph Hutchinson, not really making the strides that they had done. They pulled the gap back, and then they're drifting away again, and that seems to be where we're at the moment.
Looks like they are falling back a little bit now, but as you can tell, that lower line is just so much faster through the turns. And they're keeping so much more speed coming into the back straight, and that's how they're building that gap up. But if you see, there has been a bit of a gap growing in that bottom line, so that might affect how quickly the top line can come back. As you see, they've already gained a couple of car lengths. They went from 6 car lengths back to 4 car lengths. So it's really just a give and take. As we see, a couple cars are going to eventually move up onto that second line to try to make a move here as we get closer to the end of stage 1. So right now, yep, we see 2 cars there. The 16 moving up, the Giglio, and now it's really just going to be who can keep the draft growing strong enough.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's going to be the important thing we are now 15 laps. We are currently 9 laps under green. Coming up, we've got another 20 laps before we start hitting into stage 1 of 35 laps. We did explain that earlier on. If you weren't here and you do not know what we're talking about, please ask us in chat. We will tell you there as well. So don't forget as well, guys, if you are here, please subscribe, thumbs up, turn on the bells for notifications as well. That will help out the channel absolutely massively. Now, as you can see, all the drivers' liveries this evening. Now, we've got a bit of a, you know, it's with their liveries tonight, it's the Emperor Strikes Back Battle of the Cokes, isn't it, this evening, Michael?
Yeah, it's making me kind of thirsty, to be honest with you. All these Dr. Pepper cars in the mug root beer, that's it's making me want to go grab a soda from my fridge. No, it's really cool how they do this. They were explaining to us that they have certain races where they have different concepts for the liveries, the car designs. As we see here in chat, Diane says, "Let's go, David. You're looking good." Yeah, David is up in where was he? I just saw him up in the top 10. 7. He's doing pretty well here. But yeah, no, these liveries, they're definitely looking pretty cool. I've always enjoyed NASCAR's cars, just the way they look. It's always been a thing that I've always liked. Just all the different sponsors and all the cool ideas that they did. I remember when I was a kid, I used to have a Cartoon Network diecast car. That was pretty cool. That was actually run on one of the tracks, but yeah, the idea here, I don't see anybody really going with the Star Wars theme. No. I thought that, you know, that'd be kind of cool. You know, obviously that's how they
it's a tough it's a tough one, though, isn't it? Because what soft drink could you have with a Star Wars? You know what I mean? I think that's the purpose of it. They're all soft drink sodas. They call them. You know, we call them soft drinks, fizzy pops over here. So they're all sort of a soda soft drink livery based, aren't they? And I think it's a great concept to have, and it's something that I would recommend to more leagues to say, look, you know, give this a go. Don't just run your standard livery. Give it a theme. Give it something exciting to sit back and watch. And I think this really kind of does enhance the race as well, because you know, Dr. Pepper, you got Sprite, we got Coke in there, we got the Nitro cars. You know, there's a lot going on, and I think this is absolutely amazing to see. As you can see, Ralph Hutchinson currently in the
Blake
lead.
Gigley there, dropping down on the bottom line there.
Yeah, he's trying to pull that two line again, isn't he?
Yeah, well, we're going to see that all night long. Somehow we haven't seen any 3 wide yet, which is definitely a good thing, but you will start seeing that as we get closer to the end of the stage. Cars start going 3 wide, trying to make a move here.
I think
see Hutchison, yeah, he's out on front in the top. He might be able to drop down there, though, and block that bottom line if Blake Giglio gets a little closer.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the thing. I think there's going to be times, and whoa.
Giglio gets pushed out a little wide there.
He got pushed out there from another 70 car. That's Mike Christopher tucked up right behind him there, trying to chase that bottom line in. We've obviously seen that the bottom line is what we saw earlier on was the fastest route, but it now seems like we got Ralph, Raymond, Jason, Sean O'Brien, Robert Anderson leading the top line away, and they're kind of almost pulling that top line forward away from that bottom line. So we've got Robert Stone in chat. Go Stone, go, he says. So there you go. So that is in conjunction with Go Stone, go.
As we see here, the top line definitely has more push going on. There's more drivers up there that are following along. It could just be that they're more comfortable riding that top line at the moment. That will change throughout the race. Sometimes the top line and the bottom line, you just feel a little more uncomfortable on each different one. You don't have to worry about tire wear as much on a super speedway as you do on shorter tracks and shorter ovals. They won't be burning out the front right tire as quickly, so you can choose whichever line you want to run, really, as long as you obviously have the people behind you or in front of you to draft with.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's in conjunction with Cameron Stone, who's currently in 26th place there. Cam Stone for president, says Stomper 2K5. Well, maybe. You never know. He's dropping down onto that inside line there now as well. You can see the Coke car of car number 24. Kevin Steele there as well. This is your lead pack here, guys. As you can see now, we are all the way down to 28th position. This is Alex van der Zandt at the back of this pack. Chris Cloud has been dropped off. He's now going to be coming under the clutches of Damaris Hickenbottom, who has said himself he needs to be moving up within the top 25 because that's where he's 24th at the moment in the qualifying for the playoffs. So Damaris there has got to be looking at trying to do something in the double O car moving forward. But we've got 27 cars in this lead pack, and it's all led by Ralph Hutchinson currently at the moment, with the 8 car of Raymond Root, Jason Taylor on the outside line, Blake Gigolo on the inside line there as well. So we've got this bomb pack, and we're currently 19 cars, 19 laps under green currently after an incident at the beginning that unfortunately put cars out of the field already. Zach Roethlisberger, Lance Ripka, Jeff Hooper, Brandon Pierce. Oh, Damien Acrienza. Oh,
yeah, it looked like we had an issue someplace in the back there.
He bounced out over the top, didn't he? And unfortunately on that exit there, and that did not go down too well with him, and his car is now back into the pits. So we're still managing to stay under green. There is no safety car on that one, but Damien Acrienza is now into the pits.
Damien was able to keep it down low below the double yellow line. It looks like he got stuck on the apron there and just kind of lost.
Yeah, exactly. And he's got to now obviously be looking at whether or not it's going to carry on, or whether or not that's going to be him done and dusted. Let's go, Joe Stafford, save CWA. So there we go. Big shout outs there as well. Thank you so much for joining us in chat. If you are here for the first time, please don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up, turn on the bells for notifications of when we go live here on JPB. Bringing you all the action within iRacing. ACC F1 22 is coming shortly as well. So if you're an F1 fan, you can come and join us for that one as well. Kick it off hopefully next Friday, if all things go to plan with the testing of the new crossplay that they have brought out. But at the moment, let's concentrate here at Daytona. I always remember, and I always picture Daytona, as you can see here, the three cars literally attaching themselves to each other. Do you remember the old arcade game that you used to walk into the arcade and the instant first piece of music you hear was the driving game in the corner going, Daytona? I don't know about you, Michael.
Oh, what was that game called? I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh, man.
It was on ovals.
You're dating yourself a little bit.
It was on
yes,
ovals.
it was on ovals. It was a time attack too, though. You had to meet all the checkpoints before you could to keep going. Yeah, I used to love that game.
If you're in chat,
I used to play it every time I could.
Yeah, every time. I always just wanted to get to the front of the pack. Let me know in chat if you know what that game is called. It's the Daytona. I'm sure. Is it just Daytona Speedway or Daytona something?
It's Daytona. It's Daytona something. As we see Bryson Alexander here in the chat. Let's go, Princeton.
Yeah, he is down in 25th place currently as well in the car number 9, sitting back in the pack. I'd like to point out we are 22 laps of green currently as well. We managed to get away from a caution earlier on that Damien Acquienza kind of dropped. Well, he almost come out of the pits and went up on the apron a little bit too early, and that kind of threw his car out here as well. But there is starting to develop two lots of packs. Damaris Hinkenbottom is kind of the lead pack of this one, pushing times of about a 46.91. The lead pack in front are all around 46.3 to 46.4, 46.5. So they are a good currently within the lead times, but they're just kind of looking to try and join back up. They're slowly getting dropped off. Now, Ralph here, Hutchinson leading the top line pack. We're looking in the mid pack. There's a lot of shifting around from round of Mike Christopher, Jason Baker, Devin Medeiros in the 9th, 10th, and 11th section of this 2-lane raceway. We are 3 wide further back as well. You go back a little bit further. There they are. Got car number 63, 46, and 36, which is Bryson. Patrick Mausch is in there as well. Car number 7 has just sent it too wide as well. That's Lucas Hoxma, as you can see here on track, settling back into a 2-line session. It's an interesting thing to see here because we've got the back marker involved here is Jeff Hooper. Now, Jeff kind of got himself out of the way, which it was a fun game. Loving the broadcast, 32 to the front. And I think car number 32 is Joe Stafford.
Joe Stafford.
Yeah, Joe Stafford there as well. I think the interesting thing here from Jeff's point of view, he kind of sat in the middle, the cars went round him, he settled on the outside, the cars went underneath him, he backed off, lifted off. Ideal scenario for a blue flag. Now, as we know, within officials and other iRacing activities of, blue flags aren't always adhered to, are they? And I think
in NASCAR, blue flags are a little bit different. They have the right to, if they have the pace, to unlap themselves. They can continue their race. They can fall in the line here, and they can try to race to get themselves back on the lead lap. That being said, if they're as we saw, if they're underpowered and they're not able to keep pace, then yeah, you're going to want them to fall off and let the leaders by. Yeah. But it's not like Formula One where the back markers have to get out of the way. It's more of a.
See, that to me, that's where I sit back and think blue flags just move. It's like, you know what I mean? I'm a very big Formula One fan, and I do sometimes wish that all racing had the same blue flag rule of F1. I've got to be honest. We are 5 laps away from stage 1. People starting to peel off. Josh Ward, Joe Stafford peeling off the end for the pits, as we were talking about earlier on. That affects where they are at stage 1, aren't they? But it puts them in line again for later on during the race, Michael.
Yeah, that gives it's a little bit of strategy there. They're moving into the pits early. That way they can get their pit stop out of the way. So when everybody else finishes stage 1, they're all going to come into the pits, bumping them up into the higher positions for the start of the second stage. So it's do you want to push for the win and points on stage 1, or do you want to kind of set yourself up for the long run? So we saw that they chose to kind of take the short route and go early. So we'll see how it works for them situationally coming out here, because it looks like are they together? If they're not together, then they're going to have some problems, because they're going to lose some time. They're going to get caught right back up by this pack. If they're out there by themselves, they're not going to have anybody to draft with. That's not where you want to be, is out by yourself.
That's car number 29.
That's the last place you want to be.
Just to let you know, I've just found that game we were talking about earlier on. And it actually is just called Daytona USA Twin Retro Arcade Game.
Daytona USA.
Yeah.
You're
And
right.
basically, you can buy it for £3,400. I know I'm pounds, I'm English, guys, I'm English. And we can get it delivered down to where I am for about £350 each way. So not only have I got to bring it £350 to get to deliver it down here, I've got to pay 350 quid to get it back up there. And I got to pay £3,500 for the actual game itself. So it's called Daytona USA Twin Retro Arcade Game that you can go and have a look at if you want to, and shell out £3,500. There we go.
As we coming up here, where there's going to be 2 laps left here, that pit lane is going to be closed. So anybody that wanted to pit had to pit already. So that's part of the strategy here, as we see Ward kind of coming up here, getting caught by the lead pack. Like I said, not a position he wants to be in, running by himself with nobody to draft with. He's going to be hoping that he can keep himself on the lead lap without causing any issues there. But this lead pack is really catching him. They've already caught him, and they're going to go right on by as he stays high. It's a good move on him to stay high.
Yeah, to stay out the way, let them through. Try and tag on onto the back of the lead pack, and hopefully they'll bring you along with them. Try not get yourself involved in any incidents there as well. That's great driving from these guys. So let's sort of more of the same, please. Coming to the end of the stage 1 here as well. Heitman's out in front, then Hall, then Root, Medeiros, Hutchinson, Gigolo, Baker, Anderson, McRae, Taylor, O'Brien, Hastings, Drumhiller, Steele, Christopher, Benefield, Matt White, Patrick Mulch, Jonathan Delaney, and Brian Hicksborough round out our top 20. For the people in chat, the fans of Alex Princeton, he's in the mix as well. He's in 23rd. Cameron Stone currently in 24. So there you go. So that is, at the end of the day, what we have got going on currently at the moment as well.
So up on offer, I do want to go over these stage points.
Okay, go for your life, sir.
First place is going to be 10 points, second place is going to be 9 points, 8 points for third, and then so on and so forth, all the way down to 10th place, which receives 1 point. So this is where you're going to see all these 3 wide cars coming down the backstretch. This is where it's going to get really spicy. Coming into turn here.
I'm a bit lost here with Raymond Root dropping all the way down on the inside. He's dropped all the way down into 13th. I'm a bit confused by that one. That looked almost like he lifted off.
It wasn't necessarily him wanting to do that, or just kind of getting lost in the draft there. Sometimes if you get caught out in the middle, you end up getting shuffled back, as we see our caution.
Here we go.
Caution is out, and our stage 1 winner is going to be... Or did we already come through for the stage 1 winner?
Yeah,
who won the first stage?
I think it was Ralph Hutchinson.
Oh,
Jason
nice.
Baker,
Great job, Ralph.
Dustin Hall, Derek Heitman, Devin Medeiros, Blake Gigolo. That's where we're at the moment. Obviously, we are trying to pick it up as we go along. But I believe it was car number 54. No, it's okay. Crossed the line. You know, I'm just checking on the broadcast currently as well. I believe it was that one who led us away. Raymond Root dropped right down the inside there. That was a little bit confusing, but it was actually Ralph Hutchinson who come across the line before we entered into the second caution. See here all the cars that are slowly bumping back up again under the caution. Right,
This is going
going into stage 2 now.
Here.
Stage 2, we've got currently 53 laps before we get to stage 2. Right, because it's at the 90 lap mark, isn't it? I believe.
No. There's 95 laps in stage 2.
95 laps in stage 2. End of lap 95. There you go. End of lap 95. So, you know, quick maths. If anybody wants to do 37, take away 95, please let me know. My calculator's not out currently at the moment either, and it's 2:05 in the morning. You know what I mean? Brain's not quite working. My pot of coffee, however, is. I got to be honest, my coffee is sat next to me quite doing the job as I'm sitting here shuffling through mountains of paperwork as well.
So this is where the strategy is really going to come in. We're going to see who decides they want to go ahead and pit now, or if they want to try to pit under a green flag or hope for another caution to come out, because you're not going to be able to make it to the end of the race here. So we're going to see who all comes in and who all stays out.
All of them. Everybody. Not one person out of this line is currently staying out. I'm expecting even the back markers come in. They're all in. Every single one. Chad Sana is in. Chris Cloud coming in. Tanner Marty coming. Oh, Tanner's gone round, but he is a lap down, so we'll give him a chance to unlap himself. I'm sure he should be in. Joe Stafford is also as well staying out, but again, a lap down. So
it's going to be a race to see who comes out first at the end of pit lane here. It's going to be between Baker and Jason Baker and Ralph Hutchinson.
Yeah, I believe Hutchinson got the lead again. I believe that back marker managed to unlap himself through. I just want to try and check who that back marker was. That back marker was Josh Ward. So it's still a lap 36.40. Yeah, it's still a lap down currently at the moment, but he has managed to get out in front of the leaders, which will hopefully allow him to get back onto the back end of the pack. Ralph Hutchinson, fastest man, pit lane time 41.63. He was literally about 9/10 of a second behind Jason Baker in pit lane time, but Jason there, car number 51, did not get out. We've had a bit of a shuffle up of the standings. Tanner Marty is still in the pits, so is Chris Cloud. They're both on their way out. Joe Stafford, car number 33, sitting down, car number 32 sitting down in 33rd place currently. So Joe Stafford down in 32nd place. I can't see anything that happened to him. Just unfortunately he's down in 32nd place as well. So there we go. Patrick Marsh is in 23rd, 19th place currently at the moment. So I think we're pretty much near enough as we were. So there we go, guys, as well. Any questions you want to pose in chat, let us know. And we will go out of our way. We will send Michael off on his chopper down into Daytona to pick up any of the information that you so wish for us to be able to tell you. So let us know if there are anything you would like to know in chat, guys, as well, because that would be absolutely amazing. We will try and help where we are as we're under caution here at Daytona International Speedway for the 100% Cup Series. What more could you ask for, Michael?
Honestly, I'm excited to get this race going again. I can't wait. It's been a great first stage. Almost made it through without a caution. So, I mean, we had the one on the first lap, but pretty good racing so far. I know Hickenbottom wants to move himself up there. He's in 25th place right now, 24th in points. So he definitely needs to move himself up a little bit and try to secure some stronger points if he hopes to stay in the championship fight. This is the final week of the championship, so playoffs start next week. So this is huge for all those people that are close to the end of the standings here. We got Jason Baker currently in 25th, so this is that first stage win right there was huge for Jason Baker. or second place, I should say. But he still got 9 points for the stage, second place on the stage. So that's definitely a huge, huge, huge position for him. Demarius Hickenbottom, obviously, we were just talking about him as we're coming up to the line, and the green flag is going to be out again.
Here we go. Hutchinson's going to be leading us away. And we are green under racing here on the 160 laps. Now, when you say it like that, it sounds like we've got a long, long way to go, and we're currently coming on to lap 40. So there we go. Stay tuned because it's going to be absolutely incredible from these guys as well. So keep an eye out for everything here tonight. We're back in the two lines again, Michael, which is what we said was likely to be happening as well. So back in the two lines again, nestled back in now. You don't want to lose the gaps, do you? You know, you can see some of the field spread out between the front pack already to that middle pack. But you kind of don't want to be losing the gaps early on, do you?
Yeah, you want to stay with this lead pack as much as you can. If you start getting spread out like that, you start losing the draft. And on a super speedway, a 2.5 mile tri-oval like Daytona, the draft is king. So you have to stay within that car's length of the car ahead of you to keep an opportunity to stay with the lead pack.
Yeah.
You see a great bump draft here.
The bottom lane led by Derek Heitman.
I know we were talking about the liveries earlier. I really liked Blake Giglio's Baja Blast, the 16 car up front. The purple and the blue really I kind of like that a lot.
Yeah, we'll just try and get in a little bit on Blake here. As you can see, we're trying to bring you all. And well, trying to pick up Blake out. It's
the second car on the bottom line there. As we see the car get out wide there. I'm not sure who that was in the back there. We'll have to take a look.
I wonder if it was Alex Brinson. Car number, was it car number 8, which was Raymond Root. Little racing crush car. Looked like he got a little bit squirrely as well, and there as well. Now this is the top one is Damaris Hickenbottom again has not only managed to catch the field back up, he's managed to keep all into the main pack at the moment, sitting in 25th place. Now don't forget they had that gap, didn't they, before that caution, and now he's back in. The 00 car is right behind car number 77 of Dalton Mobley, and it really needs to be trying to stay with these guys as best he can. So I think Damaris will be happy with what's happening at the moment as it just slowly moves up past Alex van der Zandt there as well. But Damaris back in to the lead pack. I'm sure he's going to be sitting in the car thinking he's pulled a good job there as well. As you can see the ticker going across the top of your screen, Ralph Hutchinson leads us away here as well with Jason Baker, Dustin Hall, Robert Anderson, Devin Medeiros as well. And before we get into that bottom section, they're sitting up in 9th place. Derek Heitman at the moment needs a little bit of help, doesn't he? He's either going to be dropping back like he is right now and letting the car number 12 there, Jason Taylor, kind of move the pack forward with 16 in front, Blake Gigolo. So, you know, it's going to be it's going to be an interesting one.
See quite a bit of these cars are really sticking to that high line right now. Earlier in the race, we saw them staying down low, but they've really decided to keep it up high. I'm not sure if that is just comfort level, like we said before, or if that's strategy. But it's really hurting the guys on the bottom. They're able to kind of stick with them, but they're not able to push forward like they were earlier in the race. It's that top line that's really dominating right now.
Little baby Shelby is watching now. She is a good luck charm, said Robert Stone. So there we go, little baby Shelby there as well. Cameron Stone in the 4. Don't forget we've got 3 manufacturers in this field tonight, guys, as well. We haven't just got the one car we got the Free, we got the Camaro, the Mustang, and the Camry. Now this is when we had a little bit of a conversation earlier on as well, Michael, about your car brands, wasn't it? You know, your loyalty to one specific car brand.
This is a spec series. There are subtle differences between the cars, but you know, my loyalty lies where it does, and you know, everybody's got their own opinions on things, and I'm a little confused about certain aspects of my loyalty, but I nonetheless I stick right through. I don't really want to give that away too much, but yeah, you have three different types of three different types of manufacturers here. You got your Ford, you got your Chevy, and you got your Toyota. And it looks like right now the field spread is pretty even. You got a Chevy in front of a Ford, with a Chevy and a Toyota right there. It's pretty even. Toyota's the only one that don't have multiple cars up front. It's mostly dominated by Chevy and Ford, it looks like.
Yeah, I think it's going to be I would say the car of choice, but to be honest with you, I think oval racing in general, you know, is one of these things that, you know, if you talk, so let's, for instance, right, obviously I'm from the UK, and if at the end of the day there was somebody walked up to me in the middle of the street and had a microphone and they were like, so what do you know about oval racing? From my point of view, Michael, it would be hit the go loud pedal, turn left. Right, that's pretty.
Yeah,
much,
I understand that. As we see, this bottom line is really starting to take over here.
Look at the bottom line now, and they're putting one in together as well. So there's a long line here on the bottom because of the fact that we get Formula One pushed like constantly at us. Constantly, we don't really have NASCAR or IndyCar or anything like that over here. We get Formula One all the time, and you know, big touring cars and stuff like that. It's almost like, you know, they're there with a handful of F1 and they're pushing it down your throat almost, like, you know what I mean? But there is still a skill involved here. You know, I know we look at it and go, you're just turning left, and I know we look at it and go, you've just got the go loud pedal on the right and you're just hitting it, but there is still tyre management, there is still craft involved in driving around in a circle almost.
Yeah, no, there's a lot more skill involved here than just pressing the gas pedal and going left. These drivers are so athletic, it's not even funny. They're in great shape. The way that they I think I heard something, and I'm pretty sure Formula One is the same way, that they lose a ridiculous amount of body of water weight per race just sweating it out. But the G-forces that they stand here, I mean, you got to think these guys are pushing 200 miles an hour, going in a tight circle. Like, there's tons of G-forces on their body. To be able to control a car with this much horsepower, inches away from the car in front of you's bumper, with a car inches away from your bumper, and a car inches away from you from the side, it's a different skill set, but it is a skill set nonetheless that should not be frowned upon. It's incredible with these drivers, the mental, consistency that they have, the mental abilities of just staying focused for 160, 200 laps, and being able on a moment's notice, jump up into the top lane and block, or stay down low, and it's so much more than just hit the gas and go.
Yeah, that's the thing. I just love the fact that Robert Stone put in chat, it's the sport of road rage. Love it.
That's why it's so big in America, I guess.
Yeah.
No, you were saying that over in Europe, in your particular for you, England. Here in the U.S., Formula One is growing. It's definitely been big. It's been helped out by the Netflix series. But having 2 races here this year, a 3rd race next year, the sport is growing. But NASCAR and IndyCar, I mean, they have their roots here. The NASCAR, they used to race on the beaches of Daytona. That's how Daytona got started. They were literally racing their cars on the beach, drag racing. Then they had an oval track, and then eventually it turned into the 2.5-mile super speedway that it is today. But I mean, stock car racing itself got its start from bootlegging. Like back in the day, the bootleggers would tune up their cars and outrun the cops to, bootleg illegal liquor.
Yeah.
So it's such a strong-rooted sport. I mean, everybody. It's not for everybody, but I personally grew up watching NASCAR, and I did fall out of it for a little while, but I've gone back into it, and I enjoy it a lot. I love NASCAR.
I think
And IndyCar too. Don't
it's
get me
one
wrong.
of them things. If you see it constantly, you mentioned about the dirt oval and stuff like that. Instantly, all I thought of was Doc Hudson out the Lightning McQueen film, who was racing on the beach, and I think that's the affiliation that somebody here in the UK would have with this, is where somebody says, affiliate dirt oval, they'd be like, oh yeah, Doc Hudson did it in Lightning McQueen. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's the interesting thing. We don't quite get I suppose in a way the concept of this, but it's just the way that people are themselves over in Europe and in the UK, especially because obviously, as I say, we're F1 based here. I'm just watching, I'm keeping an eye on Jason Taylor here. Jason's been very good so far within the first 53 laps of managing to drag a line to the front. He's been moving up the last couple of laps on that outside line of, currently we've got 7 cars that Jason seems to be single-handedly dragging forward again. He did it earlier on in the race as well, Michael, where he literally got into the lane and dragged the lane almost up beside it. And he kind of seems to be doing the same thing again. So fair play to Jason Taylor. They're dragging that outside line up there. As we can see, the number 16 car, Blake Gigolo and Preston McRae, getting up close and personal and giving him a little bump draft to try and move him on. So there we go. But
we see here, Preston McRae's right out front. He's up 28, 29 positions.
Again.
We got spread out there.
Pit strategy is
Quite
off
a few coming
once again. Stint lefts currently.
Those cars got real close there.
Yeah.
Taylor got real close there.
Pit stop strategy lamps currently at the moment here on your screen. So there we go. The last pit lap on 37. We're now going 55. So we're just under about 18 laps under full green. So
here's where some of this. Here's where some of the strategy is going to come in. They all came in under a green flag, so they are going to hope that they're able to draft each other and stay on the lead lap, or stay, close to the leaders to be able to unlap themselves when the leaders go into pit, as we see even more cars dropping in.
Yeah.
Some of these leaders are going to be staying out, hoping maybe they can get a caution and take advantage of that. Staying out front. I need to clarify if there is points given out for laps led. That is something that I need to clarify. I did not look that up yet. This is all part of the strategy. When you want to pit, if you want to attempt to hang it out there and hope for a caution, or if you want to go for a green flag and hope that the last thing you want to do is run by yourself. So if you're going to go ahead and dive into the pits, you got to hope that you're diving in with somebody else. You got to have a few other cars to come out of the pit lane with.
Yeah, that's definitely a given in ovals. I think you got to be looking for that draft and catching up to the guys in front. So their messages in chat, I have just cleared them off as well. So there you go. Please ignore that. If you can report that channel, that would be absolutely amazing for me as well, so we don't keep having these wonderful spam messages at the beginning. There's only one message that really should appear on there, and that's James Parfitt in a mankini doing commentary in a hot tub. Don't know about you, but it sounds like good. Don't forget as well, guys, you can see the hashtag just popped up on the bottom right of your screen there as well. We are currently got a GoFundMe link down in the description below, so if you can basically donate anything possible, that would be absolutely amazing there as well. And the reason for that is one of our drivers, nephews, is currently battling stage 4 cancer. Coben there as well, call him Jimmy, has been in and out of Loris Hall. Last need your support for Fight for Coben. Jimmy Strong, cancer there as well. That's Dustin Hall, car number 1's nephew, fighting stage 4 cancer. Dustin currently down in 32nd there, up behind Danny Ciani. So please, if you can donate, that would be absolutely amazing. The link is down in the description below. Please find it there. Anything possible here for a young 16-year-old lad who is battling stage 4 cancer. So that would be much appreciated on that one. Jason Taylor, not only did he drag that top line up now, he's taking the lead and is kind of leading the whole line around, coming up to the back end of car number 32, Dustin Hall, Matt DiCiani, and Rob Tracy as well. So these guys have got to be looking at going in. Now these guys have been running a lot longer than the guys that we've just seen hitting, haven't we? And look at Van der Zat, currently up 26 places. 26 places is impressive here at Daytona. As we're going on to lap 60, we've got 100 laps remaining here tonight, Michael, and more cars dropping in, which is what we expected, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, we got a couple more cars coming in. Not sure what the fuel levels are. Looking at with the leaders that we have here, you're gonna have to worry about tire wear at this point, but not as much as you would on a road course or on a smaller oval, like I said earlier. But at this point, it's more about strategy. When do you want to pit, and who are you pitting with? If you have a couple teammates, you know, you guys all kind of get together, decide, hey, we're gonna pit on lap 60, we're gonna pit on lap 62. As we see this lead pack here now, really splitting out away from the field. These guys are still gonna have to come in the pit, but they are way in front of everybody else, and they're starting to catch up on the back end there, like you said, as we see another car coming into the pits.
There seems to be a lot of people out of sync at the moment. You see the gap from Jason Taylor to currently Dustin Hall has been about 2.85 seconds currently on the right hand side, so that goes to show they are closing. Blake Gigolo down 27 places, but he again has pitted, so we are waiting for this lead group here to be pitting, and this is all the way from first to Chris Cloud. He's currently only pitted once as well, so Josh Ward is currently at the back of this pack. So they are currently leading us off with 10 cars not yet pitted. We are expecting them to be diving into the pits very shortly as well as they're coming here, and that will give the guys in front, Dustin Hall, Matt DiCiani, and Blake Gigolo a chance, but these guys go round one more time here tonight at the International Speedway. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 cars are still yet to pit, Michael. And lap 62, you know, we've been running a long old while without a caution. It was up until obviously the 35 stage limit that we had. The second one we ran for 31 laps without a caution. No, we ran more than 33 laps without a caution. If these guys are hoping for the extension of this stop and for another caution, they're playing a very dangerous game here, because there might not be one.
Yeah, they definitely might have to hold their breath here and just go ahead and dive down pit lane on a green, but maybe this is just part of their strategy. Maybe they're just trying to extend this stint out as long as they can. They've already gone, what, 37, so almost 30 laps here, 25, 26 laps coming up on. So this might just be part of their strategy, trying to just pull an extra long stint, as we see the leader here, Jason Taylor, pulling up on some lap traffic. They really are starting to catch up on the back of the tail end of the pack here, but we can also see 12th place, number 76, Heitman. That group is really starting to take off. They're nice and grooved up there, and they are definitely moving quite along, as we see 2 more lines coming down together here. Yeah. Sometimes you can use those back markers to kind of draft them a little bit and move your way up a little bit, gain a position or two. Sometimes that backfires on you, though.
Yeah, exactly. And see car number 36 there being lapped. We've seen them get lapped earlier on. That was Jeff Hooper, the only individual. Now we've only got, believe it or not, here tonight, we've only got 2 individual drivers outside of outside of America. So we've got Jeff Hooper from the UK, currently car number 36 here, Damien Acquienzo, I believe, has dropped out. He's from France, but Jeff Whitner is still going. From the UK, every other driver is from the good old US of A. Does that say something about what we were talking about earlier with the mentality of drivers driving ovals? Because, to be honest with you, it's not really an area I drive within iRacing. But then again, I haven't driven since the 18th of August. It was a long old time away. So, you know, do we think that that affects it? Do we think in any shape or form that the fact that people from Europe don't drive ovals as much?
I think that NASCAR is, and IndyCar especially, is gaining more of an international drivers market. So you see certain names that have been linked, certain drivers. Last week at Watkins Glen, you saw Kimi Räikkönen running in NASCAR. Like he's done the Truck Series and he's done the Xfinity Series, and last week he did the Cup Series. So there was a record 7 different countries, nations represented in NASCAR. So it is gaining more of an international following. But to your point, when you think of tracks in Europe, there isn't a single one. I think Monza has an oval. That's the only one that comes to mind. There's no other ovals that I can think of anywhere in Europe. And
no, we did start to have one in the UK at Rockingham.
Rockingham? Okay.
But I believe that's actually closed down, if I'm not mistaken now, and I am going to Google that.
I mean, I'm here in the States, so I don't know for sure, but I know for sure that there are multiple short tracks, dirt tracks, and other types of tracks. I mean, I personally live about 5 miles from where Myrtle Beach Speedway used to be. So, yeah, here in the States, oval tracks are all over the place.
We did here. We have Rockingham Motor Speedway Circuit near Corby in Northamptonshire. It's used to store vehicles now. Racing at the track ended in 2018. For the car industry. So we did have a form of oval at Rockingham here as well. I'm not going to lie, it looks more like a square with round edges.
So kind of like an Indianapolis?
Yeah, it looks more like that, I think. But now, for anybody that is interested in what we do with race circuits here in the UK, there is the link to the channel, and have a look and just see what we do with race circuits when they're no longer in use. We don't use it for anything else. We go and store cars on it. So have a look at that and sit back and meet the good old British individual people here as well. But back to the race. Jason Taylor in the first, Sean O'Brien Jr. second, Robert Anderson, Randy Drumhill, Matt Wild, Raymond Root, Josh Ward, Joe Stafford is back up there, car number 32, back up into 8th, Alex van der Zandt in 9th, Jonathan Delaney in 10th, Derek Heitman 11th, Brandon Hastings, Jason Barker, Alex Princeton is in 14th currently, Adam Bonifel is in 15th, Carl Anon is 16th, Demiris Hinkenbottom 17th place. That's massive for Demiris, massive, because he needs to get into the top 25.
No, he needs to score. Yeah, he needs to score as many points as he can. So basically, where he's sitting right now, starting for first place and all the way back down to 35th place, he can work himself back point-wise. So 17, he's looking at about 17 points, 18 points right now. He wants to continue to gain points as much as possible. So if we work I did the math wrong there. So.
That's all right.
40,
Don't
35, 40,
You're not expected to do maths in the middle of a car broadcast. We don't do that.
20. So yeah, he's looking at about 20 points right now. He probably definitely wants to, obviously maximize that point total. But sitting in 24th place with a win in the championship standings, as long as he can stay in a decent point scoring position, he's going to be able to make it into the playoffs next week. So it's been a decent race from him so far. I'm sure he'd probably like to move forward a little bit, but right now I don't think he's got too much to worry about other than staying basically where he is and staying out of trouble.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the important thing as well. here tonight. Jason Taylor out in front. O'Brien Jr. is in second with the seeded line here. But don't forget, guys, these have all only pitted once. The people behind him, Josh Ward has pitted in the the only one in the top 10 that has pitted twice, and that is Josh Ward there in the car number 67. Earlier on, he's pitted twice. He's the only one in the top 10 that has. These guys have not pitted again. As we can see more cars peeling off. Josh Ward going in, Raymond Root, Joe Stafford, Van der Zandt pushing hard into the pits as well. Jason Taylor, Sean O'Brien, Robert Anderson, Randy Drumhiller, Matt White, Jonathan Delaney is still going. Derek Heitman is still going as well. That will give some of these guys who have got separated earlier on with that round of pit stops their good old chance to catch up with some of these packs. As we say, we don't want cars coming out the pit solo, because I tell you what, it's going to be tough to catch them back up. You want to be kind of coming out in and around people in the draft. As we see Josh Ward, Van der Zandt, Stafford, Root, all coming out of the pits as this pack from Derek Hyman comes round and pulls them in almost like a man catching a fish. They are the fish. Derek Heitman's caught them back up, now pulled them back up into the pack, so that's great for them. Jason Taylor's pack, however, Michael, still going. These cars of 7 still seem to be pushing on, and it is Jonathan Delaney in 6th place, the only other car here from the front 6 that have only pitted once tonight.
Yeah, these guys are just chugging right along. You know, we're almost at the halfway mark. Got about 8 laps left until we hit lap 80, which will be our halfway mark. So far, it's been a really clean race, really exciting.
Yeah, well, we only had that one major caution at the beginning, and I think that's, at the end of the day, was caused by what we said about was that people checking up there at the beginning, and unfortunately just ran into the back. So, you know, that was Zach Roethlisberger. He was out well earlier on. He literally did 0.01 of a lap. Lance Ripken did 0.98 of a lap, so he didn't even get the first lap done before them guys were involved in an incident. But at the end of the day, that was what we were talking about, Michael, where we said you've got to be kind of mindful on that opening rundown, haven't you? Because you've got a lot of cars still going slow, but yet you want to anticipate when the front pack go, but at the same time you go and nobody else goes. And we saw it with the F1 when Bottas was in the mud, and he slowed the cars right the way up. The back pack went and nobody had gone in front, and there was a mass old collision down the start-finish straight. And that seems to be what happened here with Zach as well at the beginning, didn't he? He kind of anticipated that the guys had gone. They hadn't gone. They checked up. And unfortunately for Zach, he went off and got tagged, and around he went into the middle of the circuit.
Yeah, it looked like Zach just had a great run coming off the backstretch, and everybody else kind of checked up in front of him, and there was no place for him to go. Kind of tagged into the car in front of him, and that just set off a chain reaction.
Absolutely, and I think that's one of the things that these guys have got to be mindful from as well. So
you see the leaders are coming in now.
Yeah, they're dropping in, which is what we anticipated, didn't we? Derek Heitman now.
Oh. It was the 44 car, Drumhiller, really came in hot there, got wide and on the side of Jason Taylor there. It's kind of sketchy.
Yeah, I'm trying to have a look back about Kevin Steele here, because he's been in the pits a long old time, and I can't seem to see anything with Kevin that may have caused him that problem to be in the pits for 4.5 minutes.
Was he involved in the issue earlier and just has some engine damage that he's just waiting out?
Chris Cloud is in as well, but nothing showed up that these guys would be in there that long. I'm trying to have a good old look back through the notification. Chris Cloud, hold on here. Oh, there you go. That could be why them two were in as well. Car number 38, Brandon Pierce, Chris Cloud. Not sure where Kevin Steele got involved with this. Kevin's already in the pits. We might have to have a look back and see if Kevin does pick up any of the damage here. No, he just looks like he goes in all on his own and looks like he tagged the wall. But that was why Chris Cloud is in the pits. So there we go. Back along we go. Everybody up until 28th is currently on the lead lap. There's Randy Drumhiller, 28th place there as well, is currently on the lead lap. Brandon Hastings is in second. Heitman is in third. Now, it's going to be interesting from here on. We're entering the halfway point. Do we think, Michael, we're going to be hitting the fatigue tiredness stage? Because these guys have been going, you know, nearly an hour almost driving around, and at the end of the day, they've done a lot already, haven't they? And it looked like there as well with the Coca-Cola car that kind of just put himself into the wall all on his own.
Yeah, there is going to be a little bit of fatigue here coming on, but these guys, they do this week in and week out. They're used to it. They know where they are. They know what they're doing. I think fatigue is going to set in, but not as much as, it's not going to be as big of an issue as you think. I do want to say here, Jason Baker, we've been talking about Hickenbottom all night long, but Jason Baker is actually 25th in the standings. So that second place in the first stage was huge. That gave him an extra 9 points. And now he's sitting here riding up at the lead pack in third place. So quietly having a great night for Jason Baker.
Yeah, we've only got one man who's only done one pit stop at the moment. That is this man here, car number 8. And the lead of this pack of cars here. It's got 2, 4, 6, 8 cars in the pack, trying to push onto the back of Alex van der Zandt, car number 96 there. There is a couple of back markers in the middle of them. Randy Drumhiller is one of them. Behind him as well is Brandon Pierce. So these guys are obviously lapped in between this pack itself. So 70 coming on to lap 79 guys as well. And Derek Heitman, who was the victor in Watkins Glen last time out, currently leading the way. Bryson Hickenborough in second, and Neil Pearson was in third that night. Derek again leading the way, as we can see here again, coming up to lap 80.
You see this main pack here starting to catch a couple of these further behind cars. We got 2 cars right there that are drafting each other, trying to stay ahead, but this lead pack is definitely catching them quite quick.
Yeah,
hopefully they're out of the way there.
Yeah, Jason Taylor and Sean O'Brien.
Oh, that's Jason Taylor. Ooh.
Yeah, which we were discussing earlier on, was obviously the lead pack, and did this great stellar job of dragging the outside line almost single-handedly forward, and has now come down. He's going to be coming under attack from Derek Heitman, leading the pack currently at the moment. And from Jason's point of view, I would tag on to the back of this pack if I can, and allow them to pull him forward, because he has just dropped a lap down.
You see, that's going to be the issue, that the strategy didn't work out for them. They were able to pit under green flag, and obviously we still have a few people that haven't pit, but there's a couple cars up in the front lead pack here that have pit. So these cars are going to be a lap down with lead lap cars in front of them, and it just they didn't come out with any. It was only the 2 of them drafting each other, so they didn't have enough power to, you know, move themselves back up the field. They dropped back and got caught by the leaders, and their strategy just didn't work out for them that time.
So what would you like? What would you like them to see here now? Because they're sat in the middle of the pack. They are a lap down. We've discussed it earlier on. They can unlap themselves if they're faster, but visually we know they're not, because obviously they got caught and passed. So,
well, you say that, but the only reason why they got caught was because it was just the 2 of them, whereas we had the lead pack of about 10, 15, 20 cars here. So obviously you're going to have more momentum with that lead pack. So since they don't have any damage, they should be able to file right in just like they were on the lead lap. It's just now they're a lap down. So technically, yeah, they can continue racing as long as they're not in the way of anybody. But if they start, you know, really slowing the pack down, then yeah, they need to move out of the way. But right now they're right at speed with the leaders. They have every right to be there.
See, that's where, from a point of view, I would ask the question. You know, we know Jason Taylor he's been quick all night. How then from the point of view that if the two of them can't drag their car along and keep them on the lead lap, they've now just been put into the middle of the pack on the lead lap, and at the end of the day they are a lap down. And where would they then, when almost would you say to them, right, you're slowing the pack down, but they're never going to slow that pack down because they're always going to be in the draft, aren't they? Is it
Yeah,
do you get what I mean? It's a difficult game to play for people who are almost sort of sat in the middle of the pack but are a lap down. Do they move, and should they be at the back of the pack, or are they allowed to stay where they are?
There's a piece of the equation that you're missing here, though. If a caution comes out, one of those cars is going to be allowed to get back on the lead leg. It's called the lucky dog. So these cars are staying here trying to keep as close to the leaders as they can, because if a caution comes out, they have an opportunity to get back on that lead lap. So it suits them the best to stay right where they are. Now, obviously, the leaders want to get around them as best they can, but for them, strategy-wise, since they're already a lap down, they want to stay right where they are.
Yeah, I can see the thinking behind it, but it was just when you obviously specified about the fact that obviously, you know, if they started to slow the pack down, it's going to be a hard one to sort of interpret when they're slowing the pack down, because technically they're going to get drafted a lot. As we see Jason Taylor drop up to the outside of the two columns. You can see on track the cars have come grouped back in together again, guys. You've missed the earlier action as well. There was an incident on lap, basically, well, some of them didn't even get going on the pace lap, where they checked up, and there was a few incidents, a few cars were involved in the incident as well there itself. There's only been one other incident, and that was basically on the back of Kevin Steele and Brandon Pierce. Was involved as well as they come down on this line. They run down basically on the grass to the right side there. That's it. We've only had one forced caution. We haven't had any more. That incident did not cause caution. The incidents earlier on that had happened as well did not call a caution either. Damian Acquienza basically come out of the pits too early, went up onto the apron, flicked the car up and went into the wall, come back on into the infield, managed to get back into the pits before a caution was thrown. So we've only had one forced caution, apart from obviously the stage one of lap 35, and that was a forced caution upon them, but we've only had one specific, almost incident caution here tonight, as we see Jeff Hooper there being moved out the way to the side again. He is a little flag, a little bit visually not quicker.
Oh, we got a car down under the apron. Who's that? 48?
Yeah, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that is car number 48, Matt White, taking a little diver there as well. Slippery tyres, do we think, this late on?
Well, I think right there he just got a little bit loose and just got down on the apron. Now, as we see here, the 11 cars on the lead lap, but Jason Taylor and the 65 up top, they are back on the lead lap technically. So if a flag was to come out right now, they would both be able to be waved around. So their strategy is kind of working out as long as they can stay ahead of the leaders. So I think that might be what they're doing.
Yeah, we've got Matt White, the car number there as well, pit strategy on the right side. He was the one who got loose, guy pitted on 37, pitted on 75. We're now lap 88, so there we go. Ward in front, Josh Ward pitted on 30, 36 and then 71, but he is up 21 places. So Josh Ward's strategy seems to be working out for him currently as well. So we go back. Ooh, that's car number 24 there as well on the outside. That's Kevin Steele, who had a bit of a weird moment with Kevin on the entrance to the pits. Just kind of looked like he dropped down from the racetrack, and the car got loose and he hit the entrance wall on the left-hand side. Made it back into the race, but obviously, you can see it's cost him a lot of time, and is now currently about 12, 13 laps down from the leader. So Kevin still got a lot of work to do there as well. Coming into stage 2 at the end of lap 95 here, Michael, 6 laps to go.
Yeah, we are coming in the end of stage 2 here. 6 laps to go. Don't look now, but the 6th place car of Lucas Hoytsma, he's your championship leader. He's quietly but surely working his way up, and he's having a good night there. Very consistent, and that's probably why he's out front of your championship.
Yeah, we've got that in front of the car with Jason Taylor leading the pack.
Yeah, we do have Jason Taylor leading the pack, and right behind him is the 65. They're both the lap down,
Yeah,
but
Sean O'Brien.
once that if they can stay out ahead, get to lap 95 without being lapped again, they're right back on the lead laps, and this strategy worked out for them. It's just whether our pole sitter Robert Anderson and Jason Baker can work their way around him, or if they're comfortable with just kind of sitting back and holding back. Now, since we only got 6 laps left, things are going to get a little dicey here towards the end, so we'll see what happens. We'll see if those lap cars hold back or if they keep trying to stay on the lead lap.
Well, that's the thing now, because they're in a difficult situation. They've only got 4 laps before we go into at the end of stage 2, lap 95. They're in a difficult, somewhat situation, aren't they, really? Because the guys behind are going to be wanting to get on. You know, we've got Robert Anderson there, car number 11 in the Dr. Pepper car. He's going to be wanting to try and take that stage 2 victory in that extra points. Where do you stand then with Taylor?
Really
What do they do?
Want to though?
Why would
They look like they're holding that bottom line. They're keeping up. They're keeping their pace. They're dragging them right along. Those two cars in the front aren't damaged. They're not slow. And we've already seen Taylor leading the race, so we know he's fast. I don't know if they really want to do anything right now. They're getting pulled along, and unless that we see here, Jason Baker's coming up to the top there to block that high line. So now this is where the strategy is really going to come in.
Absolutely, we're going to see what happens very shortly. 3 laps remaining here. You know what would be interesting to Robert Stone? Robert, do I want to say, no, I don't know what's going to be interesting here? Or do I say, Robert, why don't you tell us what's interesting? Because I'm always wary when people ask that question in chat. You know what would be interesting? And then they don't say anything else. And then I go, no, what would be interesting? And then some bizarre message comes out. But I'm sure you'll keep it clean, Robert, for us as you see the cars diving into the pits now. Strategy-wise, it's not what we was expected. Derek Heitman, Andy Benefield, Kyle Amon, Rob Tracy, and Demiris Hinkenbottom diving into the pits. 2 laps to go. What do we think? What do we think Robert Anderson's going to be doing?
Yeah, I think Robert Anderson's just going to be holding that bottom line and just throwing a block if he has to, as we see cars going into the apron and into the grass. Looks like everybody kept it clean, though.
I believe that may have been, and I don't want to have to say this for you, but it may have been Brandon Hastings here as well. Let's have a look back and see if it was Brandon Hastings. Ooh, yes. And car number 53 as well. On the entrance to the pit lane. So Brandon Hastings there as well. Preston McRae, I believe that also was.
They were all going down in the pit lane, but yeah.
Preston McRae. But Robert Anderson is leading us off currently as well as we're coming on to lap 94. If NASCAR had the F1 DRS. How would that work?
I don't think it would change anything. They'd still be stuck in a DRS train.
Would the speeds be quicker though?
I mean, I guess, but the F1 cars are set up for road racing. They're not set up for oval racing. An Indy car is going to beat an F1 car on an oval all day, every day. The F1 car is going to be faster, but the Indy car is set up for it.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
They've done like studies and tests on it. Like it's all about setup.
Don't believe it. You know,
it's like
306 kilometers.
We're not at Spa. We're not at Spa. Like
I'm still not believing that at all. Right, I'm just going to do something here because obviously I'm predicting days. I'm changing it to miles per hour. 183 miles an hour. Currently, this is what they've been clocking at. That is Robert Anderson there, leader on 70 going around the back. Let's see what he toes down this back straight.
Yeah, he doesn't have a draft. He doesn't have a push buddy here, and we're under the third flag. We're here
aren't we?
lap
Yes.
96. So
lap 96 done and dusted. Everyone wants a nitro button, says Rob Stone. Yeah, that would be absolutely amazing as well. While we're under this caution, guys, as well, please don't forget, give the video a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and don't forget to turn on the bells for notifications as well. And don't forget to have a look at the links down in the description of the video. Social links are there for myself here at JPB, and also the 100 series links as well. And don't forget to please go and read the GoFundMe for Coben there as well. So Coben, who's sometimes called Jimmy, he has been in and out of the hospice since October 21st, 2021. He went in with 4 lumps and a broken back, not from an injury or an accident. He had surgery on his back, 4 screws, 2 rods in, and took the biopsy. A lump mass on his abdomen. He's been through a battery of tests and blood work. Unfortunately, the news is not good. It was stage 4 cancer. So please go, and if you can, go to the GoFundMe link down below, and if you can donate, that would be absolutely incredible, and that would be amazing if you can. So thank you so much for that one. There we go. Never good, stage 4 cancer. So lap 97. Under a caution, 63 to go. Could we now have predictions, Michael, as they all peel into the pits? Now I'm expecting this young man here to not only get himself back on the lead lap, he's going to be up and near the front. Jason Taylor there, car number 38 going with him. There's a lot of action. We'll wait for the tower to settle down, guys, and then we'll keep up with it as well on that one. So we'll stay with Michael, and he's just dealing with a slight technical problem. Jason Taylor comes in.
Can you hear me? Is it
I
better
can.
now?
It is better now. I can hear you. Thank you very much for that.
There you go. Sorry about that. Yeah, I was having some technical difficulties there, but yeah, I think once we get this all sorted out, figure out who's going to be where. This is kind of a gray area right now because we're not really sure who's where, but as we saw there, Jason Taylor, O'Brien, by sticking in front of those leaders and staying in front of them, they stayed on the lead lap. They were able to get their lap back, and now they're going to be right back in the middle of this race. We see them coming back into place. Right now they're showing as 14th and 15th. We'll see if that's exactly where they stand, but it ended up being a great strategy for them, and you know, Robert Anderson coming through with that stage 2 win. Good ups for him, man.
Yeah, absolutely there as well. What do we think now, though, from a perspective? This is where we kind of waffle for a little bit, guys, here as well. I'm not going to say it, I'm not going to lie, because we've got to wait for all of this to settle back down. We've got to wait for the cars to get back round, and, you know, we've got Jason Taylor down in 17th. Randy Drumhiller down in 18th there. Cameron Stone, for all you Cameron Stone fans in the chat, he's currently in 12th place. Car number 32, Joe Stafford. There was some love for Joe earlier in the chat as well.
Anderson as well.
Yeah.
Up in 5th place.
He's car 32 to the front. Well, as you can see on the left-hand side there, he's currently sitting in 6th place. I predict Cam Stone dropping the hammer. Okay. Is it hammer
Robert
time? Is that what we're saying?
Might like Stone a little bit. I think there might be something there.
Yeah, I think a family relation. Days of Thunder style, brother. Do you know the weirdest thing about that, right, Robert? And I'm going to tell you now, is me and Michael were talking, and Michael was asking me questions about NASCAR, and he was like, James, do you watch much NASCAR? And I was like, no. I said, but I've seen the Days of Thunder movie, so I'm an expert. There we go. Don't need to worry about anything else. I've seen Tom Cruise go hurtling around the outside. I've seen him play NASCAR draft on Nicole Kidman's legs. I'm all good. I know everything. Oh dear. Maybe I don't, but you know, at the end of the day, look, give me a break, guys. It's nearly 3 a.m. for me, and we've still got 60 laps to go. Raymond Root currently out in front here with Josh Ward in second. As I say, Josh is off a little bit of strategy. He's one of the few people who's pitted 4 times so far. And there is Ward's stint time, 30, 35, 26. We'll have a look at his laps at 30, 36, 71. So yeah, so he's been in and out 4 times currently, as well as Ward, and is doing me good steady. He's now in second place, Michael.
Yeah, no, he's up front. He's right there with the leaders. He's got that bottom line, so we'll see which line gets the better jump here, which one gets the better push, and which line they feel comfortable with.
Absolutely. IM number 9 is looking good. That is Alex Princeton. He is currently in 4th place. He is looking good as well. So there we go. See, Robert agrees with me. My favourite scene as well. Yeah, it's bump drafting sugar packets, I think it is, or is it sweetener packets? Sweetener packets on Nicole Kidman's legs. Once you've watched that scene, you don't have to worry about the knowledge of NASCAR. You know it all. All right. So us here at JPB and myself, I know everything, Michael, and I learned from one scene in the Days of Thunder film. So there we go.
Congratulations. I'm glad you got your study in this week. We got Bryson Alexander saying, hey, number 9 looking good. Yeah, let's see there. We got Princeton up in 4th place. Yeah, that's a great start position coming into the final stage here. This should be very exciting. We've had some great clean racing so far, but this is, you know, about 30 laps from now, 40 laps from now, this is when it really starts getting interesting, really starts getting exciting. We haven't seen too much 3 wide yet, but it's coming. I'm sure of it.
You're predicting a lot, you know, and I think it's going to be interesting to see when we get into the last 10 to 15 laps. So it'll be good to see here as we see Raymond Root. We were discussing Raymond earlier on. Done 2 pit stops. He's got to be due a stop soon because he is behind everybody else. He's a pit stop behind everybody else in pit stops. So I have to see how this one pans out for Raymond Root. Let me know that everything is okay and you can hear everything okay in chat, guys. That would be a little bit amazing. We can get a little bit of feedback, make sure everything is working correctly. See the pace car peeled off.
Flag, yeah.
Here we go. Raymond Root has gone, and we are green. And Raymond Root leads us off again, takes that inside line on that bottom pack, closely followed by Josh Ward, Robert Anderson, Alex van der Zandt, Princeton there as well. He is currently joined in. I think the cars have all of a sudden gone through the absolute roof there as well, and the volume just went absolutely crazy. So guys, just to let you know, in about the next 10 seconds in chat, the iRacing volume will go a little bit mental. So just be aware of that one. Right, so Raymond Root currently out in front. That second line again.
Yeah, they got kind of hung out there. Hung out to dry. Everybody pretty much dropped down to the bottom, so that was the lane of choice, and it just backfired there. We see Princeton falling back in that top line. If they get some people moving up onto the top line, they'll be right back up front. But right now, it looks like they're just kind of waiting it out and hung out to dry.
Yeah, exactly. We're jumping on board with a JPB chopper flying around Daytona, getting some absolutely action-packed shots here of this front pack. Blake Gigolo is there as well with an interesting thing. So trying to keep an eye out for its car number 12. Jason Taylor back on the lead lap. We were discussing this strategy earlier on. They managed to keep up and stay there as well, and are now on the lead lap, which is currently 17th place in this lead pack. Where, from Jason's point of view, sitting in this lead pack, though, where would you want to go? Because we've seen him single-handedly drag lines up to the lead car. You know, he did it earlier on with the outside line and the inside line. From his point of view now, if he just got to sit back and see that's car number 3.
you're sitting right now, you really got to just Jason Baker's. He must have waited to take his pit stop because he's been out front for a while there. Yeah, if you're Taylor, you're just kind of sitting there with thinking about him. You kind of want to just bide your time, and it's still early. We got 57 laps to go. There's no rush. Obviously, we know he's got the pace to get up front. It's all about finding the right draft partners and getting the right push at the right time. So right now, just keep your head down and
giving an eye on Dustin Hall. Apparently, he had an incident and jumped straight to the pits, but there he goes. But it doesn't say. I'm a bit worried about the pit lane time of Baker there. There's nothing popping up to say that he's been involved in anything, but his last pit lane time is showing up that he was in the pits for about 10 minutes and is currently 8 laps down.
Yeah, no, he was running a great racer. Here's what happened.
I'm trying to have a look back through, but can't see anything happening there. So we'll keep an eye on that one as well, guys. But here we are back at Daytona, currently here tonight with, well, we have still got 31 cars in 32. Kevin Steele still running, so that's still on 33, and I believe that is Kevin Steele is your last runner. So we've got 33 cars running currently, and Kevin Steele is our last remaining runner here tonight for the 100% Cup Series live from Daytona International Speedway. When do you think that, Michael, 54 laps remaining, when do you think you're going to start making your move?
Honestly, you got to wait until there's about, you can't go any further than 30 laps left. You don't want to be too jumpy, but you want to give yourself time to move up front. But it really just, it's less of a when and more of a how. When you find the right draft partners and you get the opportunity to make a move, you take it when you can. It's less of deciding, you know what, I want to make a move on lap 32, or I want to make a move on lap 120. It's, do I have a good draft partner? Do I have somebody that's going to work with me, that's going to stick to my bumpers? Are they going to, you know, try to use me, or are we going to be able to work together? It's when you find the right opportunity to jump on that opportunity and get up there.
Okay.
See, that top line is really trying to come together, but still just not enough momentum to really get it working yet.
Yeah, Van der Zandt is being pushed along from car number 7 now. That's Lucas Hotzmeier, who is currently leading the championship currently as well, as we discussed earlier on. He's got to be looking at trying to drag at that top line back up beside these guys. As you see, a back marker there is going to stay high and allow these guys to take the inside line.
Back marker there on the
Yeah,
top.
I'm trying to see who it was. You don't really see it.
53.
53? Preston
53,
McRae?
Preston McRae, yep.
Yeah, no,
Kind of letting the
63.
leaders.
No, it is 63.
It's 53. Is it 63? Oh, yeah, that's my fault. I apologize.
That's Bryson Hicksborough on the outside there. Yeah, 63. Bryson Hicksborough on the outside. Currently 2 laps back from this lead pack led currently by Raymond Root. So there we go. Much love to you all if you are all still here watching this stellar race so far. One real fourth caution. Those small micro incidents didn't bring out the caution. We've had 2 stage cautions already. That's them done now. We were not going to get any more stage cautions tonight. We are literally now on a flat-out sprint of 51 laps straight to the end of this race. 1 forced caution was on lap 1. And then we've run, basically, we took out the stage cautions. We've run for 105 laps without a forced incident. So there you go. Rob Stone, yeah, because when everyone says I'm going to make a move with 30 to go, then you get the big one. Don't
Exactly.
stop talking about this big one.
Well, technically, we got one early. We got that one out of the way early. That was nice. I don't know if anybody out there that's watching has been doing any public racing this week at Daytona, either Xfinity, the Truck Series, or the Cup Series, the next gens. But as far as I've seen, it's been one caution fest after another. And yeah, we've been pretty lucky here tonight that it's been pretty clean for the most part.
Clean. It's been clean for about 106 laps if you take out the false cautions. If you take out the false cautions, we've had one physical caution, haven't we?
Yeah, no, I agree there. We have had some little incidents, but yeah, it's been a clean race, and I apologize if I misspoke there. I didn't mean that. But,
watch what you say, young man. Oh, man, you gotta laugh, Michael. Trust me. This time in the morning, you gotta have a crack. Yeah, but
3:11 in the morning for everybody out there. That's what time it is for James right now. 3:11.
3:11 a.m. So bear with me. I'm still going. My coffee's still going. And my coffee's only still going, right? It's been going since the beginning of the race, and it's still hot. And it's only because I've got one of these fancy cups.
It sounds like you got a nice thermos there.
Yeah, mate, that heats it. And it's got, the good thing about it as well, it's got a push button to open up the cap to drink. So when I push the button, it opens it up, and then when I let it go, the cap closes again. It's incredible. One of the pupils at the school I work at bought me it for
Andrew's Tam moving up on the right here. That top line's finally starting to get a push. We got enough cars behind there.
As it coming across car number 38. That's Brandon Pierce.
That kind of spread him out a little bit. 54 thought about coming up top.
Drumiller is leading this second pack though, mate, isn't he? He's trying to pull this second pack along of him, Hastings. Oh, it's not Hastings. That's Dustin, number 1. Car number 1. Yeah, Dustin Hall.
Oh yeah,
he's a little bit out of sync with Randy Drumiller there. He's using kind of Randy to pull him along. Dustin down in 30th place. He's currently 2 laps off the lead there as well. But we go back up into the lead pack. Lucas Hotchman is now in second, up 20 places. Alex Van der Zandt is up 32 places so far.
See a run on the top again. The 7 car. That's your championship leader right there. Lo and behold, look at that. Blake Gigolo. Gigolo.
Yeah,
Giglio. Giglio.
Is it Giglio or Gigolo?
I think it's Giglio.
I'd say it's Gigolo.
Blake Giglio.
So you across the pond, huh? Yes, mate, I am. I do love the terminology of across the pond. A little bit bigger than a pond. An ocean, somewhat. But yes, I am across the pond here as well. Filling in for this amazing Cup Series this week as well. So me and Michael are filling in for this week here tonight as well. So you'll be back to Freeway TV, I believe, for next week. So we are just plugging a gap this week to make sure that this absolutely amazing series here at this amazing racetrack with these amazing gladiator drivers get to be shown to the world. So that's what we're doing.
It's really giving Lucas a nice bump drive there. He's pushing quite a bit, backs off a little bit. He's going to give him another push here. Oh, and now coming out of the turn. You don't want to do it. You don't want to do it in the turn, but on the backstretch, if you want to give him a nice bump draft, that's where you want to do it.
The outside line again.
See it right here.
Yeah, he's going to go again.
Yep. There's the bump.
Then
cleaning his back bumper for him. That's a nice guy.
Number 91, Brandon Hastings, is kind of doing the same thing here. He's kind of sat in the middle of the pack, currently a lap down, but he's doing the same thing for car number 76, which is Derek Heitman on the top of the pack. We see the car peeling off into the pits. It's kind of hard. So they pushed him along there as well on that outside column, which is what we did Thank you, Robert. Great job. Good to have you. It's good to be here. Good to be here. So there you go.
Yeah, it seems like these leaders earlier they were really willing to stay up high, and now they're back to that lower line. It just I don't know if maybe the track temperature is changing the line choice. But yeah, it looks like as we saw with Lucas and Blake here, they were running that top line, and even I believe Mike Christopher was up there too. We know the 96 of Alex van der Zandt was up there. And they've all chosen to jump as soon as they could. As soon as they got that top line up to the front, they chose to jump right back down to the bottom line. So it looks like that bottom line is the chosen line for now.
Yeah, I think it is as well. I'm half expecting to see car number 12, Jason Taylor, to start peeling out, making moves that go round. Currently car number 48 of Matt White. Jason has been up at the front for pretty much most of this race. Dropped back a little bit mid-race and has now gone into the final stage almost. Now back on the lead lap and in 20th position. Looking and seeing it going a little bit quicker than where he is currently. As you can see him now making moves around the outside. We've got back markers involved as well. Kevin Steele was car number 24. He's involved in this pack. I'd be interested to see if Taylor can make his way through this pack.
Taylor's really sitting in the back there. I'm wondering if maybe he's just holding off a little bit, trying to hit. I'm not sure what happened there, but he's definitely clinging on to the back of this pack. He was trying to move up high and just couldn't get the draft, so now you see him holding on to the back of the 48.
You carry on talking for a minute. I'm just going to do some chat cleanup.
Yeah, not a problem, as we see Jason going ahead and moving up. Give me one moment here. Yep, he is really trying to make that high line work for him, and it looks like he's got a heck of a run now. Actually, he definitely has a nice run now, coming out of the back of the 29 of, I apologize, I am just learning more Tanner Marty, right there, he's got the back there, but it looks like that top line is still kind of falling behind. You see the 5 car kind of grazing the wall there of Ammon.
Yeah, we haven't seen much of Carl Ammon. I am back. I did a little bit of a clean-up chat operation. A lovely little bot popped in and asked me if I was tired of being alone. I turned around and said no, and then reported her and deleted the messages. You know, I'm at car number 5, Carl Ammon. It's a weird one, right? Because we were discussing Days of Thunder, and he's running the mellow yellow, kind of not the direct Days of Thunder livery, because he's obviously got a yellow yellow skirt almost on the bottom of the bumper. But it's just kind of got about his moved up 8 places. We haven't really touched on him, mentioned him at all throughout the whole broadcast.
Yeah, he's been kind of quiet, but he's sitting there in the top 20, just kind of picking his way up there. He's in 16th currently. As we see Jason Taylor kind of fell back again a little bit.
No, he's coming up the outside. Look, he's coming up behind them. Side on now.
Yeah. Making his move, but see that top line is just kind of still hanging back, unable to really make a dent on the bottom line. The 76 car of Heitman trying to get a little bit of a side draft going, trying to catch back up.
The 91 is currently is what we're looking at is Brandon Hastings, but I'm half expecting Taylor to start making his moves and coming through the field. You can see we've got the 3 nitro cars up front here of 7, 16 and 70. There's Lucas Hotzmar up 21, Blake Gigolo up 1 and Mike Christopher up 1 on their starting positions. With Alex van der Zandt, car number 96 behind, who's currently up 29 positions, one of the biggest gainers, if not the biggest gainers in the whole entire race. We're going to see people start peeling off now into the pits. Robert Anderson, Matt White, 2 people into the pits now. I'm half expecting on the back of the outside line, there he is, car number 12, Jason Taylor there doing the business. But for everybody else as well, they are as they are. Joe Stafford, Stafford at the front, well, he's near enough, he's in 12th there as well. So Joe Stafford, Alex Princeton here as well is car number 9. He's at the back of this pack. He's currently in 17th place. So there you go. 17th place. And I believe Kevin Steele, 33 cars running, is still our last runner. So we've lost 7 cars across the first 123 laps. So there we go.
Very excited about him. Running up in the top 10 now. He started way back in the pack, and he's quietly moved himself up. That's definitely going to help him in the championship standings if he can stay up towards the front here.
Yeah, I'm scared for Robert Anderson, though, car number 20. Dived into the pits, come out, and he's literally on his own.
Oh, that's not where you want to be.
Robert Anderson is there. He's car number 11. Oh, he has got a car tucked up behind him. I didn't see him on the track map. I believe that's probably Matt White behind him. Yeah, these two with his look at that. That's just an incredible sight. You sit back and think, oh my God, and you've got literally all of these cars rushing up behind you. You're going to have to jump on board with Matt White just to see what Matt White sees as well. So I'm just going to drop the game volume down a little bit as well, because it might just get a little bit loud. That is the position of Matt White currently, and that's literally what they see.
You definitely got to trust the car behind you when you're this close bump drafting.
Yeah.
Definitely got to work together as a team. Have confidence in the guy in front of you and confidence in the guy that's pushing you.
Yeah, I'd be a little bit more worried. As you see here with Blake Gigolo, look, he's literally right up behind Nitro Pepsi car of Lucas Hotspur. There we go. I'd be a little bit more cautious there as well, I think. Everyone in teams, or are they lone wolves, Michael?
Well, there are teams here, and there is definitely teamwork involved, but unfortunately we are not necessarily privy to who's on whose team.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anybody out there in the chat can know anybody that's on teams, but yeah, Robert, there are teams involved here, 3 to 4 people on certain teams, but unfortunately we do not know who the teams are. We did not have enough time to find that information out. I did ask one of the league operators before the race, but unfortunately it was just too much to go over and not enough time. So yes, there's teams, but you know.
Well, look, I'm going to give you a rough idea, right? Because I'm going to pick this up from who is in the same voice chat in the Discord. So we've got Jason Baker, Ralph Hutchinson are in one, Kevin Steele, Preston McRae, Bryson Hicksborough in another, Demiras, Dustin Hall and Carl Annon are in another voice chat. Bobby Anderson, Jason Taylor, Randy Drumhill, Sean O'Brien are in one together. Devin Medeiros, Tanamar, another one. Bob Tracy, Derek Pikeman, Matt Luciani, Logan Sheets, John Delaney, Lucas Hopsma, Blake Gigolo, and Michael Christopher. So that is your front 3 currently. That would be why we've got the Nitro cars. Are in another one. Brandon Pierce, Cameron Stone, RJ Root, and Alex van der Zandt are in another one. Now that is just me projecting the fact that they're all in the same voice chat. That may not be that they're all in the same team. I'm just guessing the fact that they're all in the same voice chat could be the reason why they're all working together.
Matt White and Robert Anderson are both looking like they're about to go a lap down here. They're going to try to fight to stay on the lead lap, but it looks like that top line is going to take them.
Too quick. 3 Nitro cars. They're just too quick.
As we saw earlier with Taylor, though, they were able to stay within the lead pack and keep on the lead lap, but there's not going to be any cautions unless one comes out. So they're not going to have that opportunity, as we see Anderson dropping down here to the bottom.
Yeah, unless one's forced again, I don't think it's going to happen. So
yeah, we don't have any stage cautions left, so
no.
we come up on 32 laps to go here. Awful close towards the end here. still a little early to really make any big moves, but you're going to start seeing some pushing, start seeing a little bit more aggression. Find out who's on whose team the hard way, I guess.
Coming into 30 laps down, 30 laps remaining here of 160 race. Blake Gigolo there been doing his bit on the back of Lucas Hoytsma, for quite a while now, and Mike Christopher just been sat back there almost doing his business. The outside line hasn't really got going currently either, so that's making it difficult here to move up. Jason Taylor, who's normally, we've discussed numerous amounts of times, is the person dragging the lines up generally. He's not currently at the front of this one, however he has moved up one car from where he was earlier on. Is now in front of car number 53. That's Patrick McRae on the back of that one. But where do you think, you know, we're coming into that magic 30 mark? We've discussed it a few times. So
30 might still be a little too early. We're talking more about 15 to go, 10 to go. You see a bunch of cars peeling off here going into the pit.
Yeah, Van der Zandt.
You don't want to get out front too fast and be too aggressive, and then, you know, have another line come up and pass you like you're standing still. You want to be able to, you know, progressively move up towards the front and, you know, be up front at the end. You don't want to, you know, shoot your load too quickly.
Yeah, exactly. We've got Hutchinson, Root, Medeiros, Heitman, Stafford, Van der Zandt, Ward, Princeton, Stone, and Demaris Hinkenbottom is also currently into the pits as well. Current stint left, as you can see, generally around about 33 laps. Let's go and see with here with Demaris Hinkenbottom and see how his are picking up as well. But the leader's stint laps are on your screen. 33, 32, 33. Between 33 and 38 laps of a stint currently at the moment. As we can see, the leaders back up with the three guys here in the Nitro Pepsi cars. Hoytsma, Gigolo, and Christopher. As we've got a little under 28 laps. 10 laps, no one is safe, says Robert Stone. Do we reckon 10 laps? Carl Amon and Randy Drumhill have just gone in as well. Sorry, Michael, carry on. Would you reckon 10 laps?
Yeah, I'd say 10, 15 is where teams or drivers are really going to start getting aggressive, as we see almost all the leaders jumping in now. So that's going to be a majority of the pack. So they're going to be able to draft each other coming out of the pits, and they should be looking good for the end of this race here, as long as their pit stops go smoothly.
Well, we're looking at about over 30 lap pit stops, so we've got 27 to go. Taking tyres as well, you can see them there, all of them popped up at the same time. Lucas Hoytsma is literally there in the pits. There's Alex Van der Zandt. He's going to be running back around. We've got about a 40-second pit lane time. We're currently on a 32 here. As we see Van der Zandt running around, he's going to be catching up to this pack, as these guys are going to be heading out and have got to head around the inside. So it's going to be here with Alex Van der Zandt. He's going to be looking at possibly taking the lead of this race. If he can, I don't think he's going to catch them up quick enough. I think Jonathan Delaney is still going to come out here in front. Van der Zandt is making the move, but he's just not gone moved quick enough here as well. There is Van der Zandt, there is Gigolo, there is Christopher, Taylor, Hoytsma, O'Brien and Delaney. These three latch back on to each other straight away. 27 to go, guys. You're not going to want to go anywhere now. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn on the bells for notifications as well. So give the video a big old thumbs up. And if you get 2 minutes, please check out the GoFundMe link down below. It's not anybody here begging for money. I promise you this cause is so worthwhile that it's not even funny. You should definitely go and check out the link below, please, guys, and have a read of the young man's story on that link. As we can see here, Delaney, O'Brien, Hoytsma, Taylor, and Christopher.
You see Taylor is right back up there, our championship leader right now. Hoytsma is right there in the top 3. O'Brien and Delaney, just like you said, this is coming down towards the end here. Now there's only 5 cars up here in the lead group, so I think that the following pack is probably going to catch them pretty quickly here, just simply because they have more cars involved there. But yeah, everything seems to be going pretty smoothly right now for these front runners, but this is where things really start getting a little crazy, a little hazy.
What do we reckon then? You know,
I'd really like to know what happened to Jason Baker. He was running a great race, and then all of a sudden he was in the pits for 8 minutes.
I don't know, because I can't actually find anything. He's there now, car number 51. I've had a look back through numerous amounts of times through this notifications, and I literally cannot find one thing what happened to Baker. Not one. So I can't answer that question, and I feel bad for not being able to answer it, but literally looking back through, there was not one notification with Baker at all of being off track or anything like that.
The 51 and the 67 are both a lap down, multiple laps down, but we see the high line is starting to come alive, and those cars have caught the lead pack, so we'll see what happens here. We'll see if the A car of Root can take over the lead and push that high side up faster.
See, that's the thing I wanted to see. I was a little bit wary when they started coming in and that 5 pack got out in front, and then it was almost going to have an anticlimactical finish where it was just going to be 5 cars crossing the line. So I'm glad the pack have caught up, because, you know, you've discussed this mythical big one that I haven't seen a big one. You know what I mean? Let's be real, there hasn't been a big accident all the way through. There's a few cars at the beginning, but that's just normal. But Damaris Hinkenbottom is leading another set here, car 00. He's got Joe Stafford is at the car. He's racing currently. And then we've got car number 38 in the middle, which is Brandon Pierce. So Damaris up into 20th place. Obviously, it was earlier on up into about 7th or 6th. I think Michael, wasn't he at one point?
Yeah, Damaris was up into the top 10. I'm not sure how far he was. I remember seeing him in 9th, but he was definitely moving himself up into a pretty good position. I think sitting right now in 20th place, like I said, he probably just wants to keep his head above water and, you know, stay out of trouble. Have a decent finish, and he should be in the playoffs starting next week.
Right, guys, ours. Well, let's see if you can come up with and tell us who you think is going to win. So let's have a little bit of a hashtag. If you are here and you are chatting, give us a shout who you think is going to win at the moment as well. You can either do it by hashtag car number 6 or hashtag O'Brien or Delaney. I'll tell you what, let's do car numbers. So hashtag 6, hashtag cars after that as well. So give us a bit of a shout out and let us know who you think is going to be your victor here this evening.
Personally, I think Jason Taylor's got a real good shot at a win. He's been up front all day long. He's been dragging these lines, whether it's the top line, the bottom line. We see him coming up on the high side right now.
You reckon?
7. I think Jason Taylor I would probably put my money on Jason Taylor.
There we go. Jason leads us away again now with Mike Christopher sat beside him. The car number 7 there is a little bit off line with the rest of his team. The rest of his team are on the top part there as well. Lucas Hoytsma is not. He's in that bottom line where his 2 teammates are on the top right. Oh, there we go.
This is it.
Oh, no.
You saw you just got a little loose there up front.
Do you know what? I'm wondering whether or not that was involved with that bump drafting that was happening behind him.
Yeah, we'll have to get a replay, but it looked like he got tapped when he was a little loose, and it just sent him around. And yeah, there's a lot of cars involved in that one. That's close to the big one right there.
Well, let's have a look. I need to come back a little bit more. No, I need to come back further than that one. Oh, so unlucky. Do you see the teammate behind him?
Yeah, it was Matt Christopher got loose. Just shot across there.
Yeah, but did he get loose under his own fruition, though? Sorry, I'm trying to be a little bit more, going back a little bit further, but I'm trying to find out where this all kicked off. Because I'm wondering, you know, if that wasn't on his own.
No, I don't think so. I think they came out of that turn. They came out of turn 2 onto the back straight, and he was just coming out of the turn on the high side and just got real loose. He got a little bit of a bump from behind. Nothing.
Watch it go. Bumping him along currently. Still bumping them along. There, look, see it?
My view's a little delayed. Just bear with me here for a moment.
I'm wondering if that pushing did not do him any favors.
Well, that's part of super speedways, but yeah, that definitely looked like he got a little extra shove there in the back, and it just got him a little loose.
Literally being he's just attached to him.
Yeah, I mean that's part of bump drafting, but yeah, definitely a tough one there. That's definitely a tough one there.
Definitely is there as well. I know, Robert. I walk away for a second and you miss literally a mass pile up here as well. You were discussing just about the big one that we were talking about, and we literally have just lost a chunk of cars in the pits. Brandon Pierce, Mike Christopher started it all off. Josh Ward, Jonathan Delaney, Raymond Root, Ralph Hutchinson, Van der Zandt, Lucas Hoytsma, Joe Stafford, Derek Heitman as well. I don't know. I can't get over the fact that bump drafting did not do any favors, and I'm going to have a look. I'm going to try and see if I can get a little bit further in. I'm like a detective. Bear with me 2 seconds. Just entertain me for a minute, chat, while I deal with this situation. Because I think
Bushing definitely upset his car, but that's Daytona racing, as Bryson Alexander says. I agree with you, Bryson. I think that it's just part of the bump draft there. Coming off of turn 2, and I think he just was a little bit loose when he got that bump draft, and it just sent him right around into the car next to him.
Right, so there we go. Look, there's the front 2 that's going to cause this off. We've got Bruce behind him currently at the moment. Blake Gigolo behind him. There's the constant pushing. Still doing it, moving him side to side. There, he didn't do it, he caught him off. I know what you're saying, but he was shifting side to side behind him and almost spinning him up, like rubbing him the wrong way. He wasn't attached right behind him. He was coming up side to side. Blake was side to side on him. And literally, looking at the broadcast now, he's just caught him wrong. And I think that's caused the issue. He's caught him wrong. I think that's my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. You know what I mean? What do we reckon, chat? Bryson, let me know. It's go time. You have to push like crazy at this point in the race. Yeah, but it's just...
It's just part of
that's
just part of the bump draft. He got a little loose in front of the bump draft, and it
did not get loose. Me and you, I tell you what, Michael, it's a good job we're in separate countries. He did not get loose on his own there as well. You can see Blake Gigolo moving side to side behind him and literally tapped him in the wrong way and sent him off there. But he wasn't loose. He was on a straight. You can't get loose on a straight.
They were coming off of the turn 2, and he just...
Oh, bar humbug. That's what I said to you.
It's just part of pump drafting. Obviously, they're going to be frustrated. And they're not going to. They're probably going to have a look at it with the stewards. But
They're
at the end of the
teammates,
day,
for
that's
God's
just
sake.
part of racing. And we see.
Yeah, I tell you what, if I was Mike
Coming
Christopher,
back to green here.
yeah, Lucas Hoytsma, I'd be there. Right, this is Taylor's to lose now, and here we go across the line and out in front he goes for the last 17 laps.
Carl Edwards, Greg Biffle problems. Yeah, Robert knows what he's talking about.
Oh, give over. He could have pushed him more square on the bumper. Thank you, Bryson. Look. He did not push him square on the bumper. He was moving side to side, and if you catch him wrong on the upper right or bottom left, that's exactly what happens to the car here as well. So we've got Jason Taylor leading us off. Cameron Stone, second place. Sean O'Brien in second. Cameron Stone dropping down the order a little bit now as the outside line struggles to get going again. They really need that line pushed up beside Jason Taylor, who can literally drag a line single-handedly around the scruff of the neck all on his own as he passes the line of cars in the pits. Bye-bye. 16 laps left here at Daytona International Speedway for the 100% Cup Series. Car number 57, Cameron Stone. I would be looking at dropping down onto the inside if I could, because that line seems to be seriously struggling to get going on that outside area.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you. At this point of the race, it's so tough to decide at that though. Like, it's so close to the end, but you don't want to compromise your run. But at the same time, they're losing time to that bottom line. We'll see if they can get enough of a push on the top there, but not sure it's gonna happen. Not yet.
Oh, car disappearing there in the middle. That's never good.
That white's blinking a little bit there.
Yeah. He knows he's there. That's the problem, and that's, oh, we don't want to be doing that this late on in the race. 15 laps remaining. You can see car number 11 there has just dropped back. Robert Anderson, not really sure where that car is in front, and that's welcome to the world of iRacing and netcode issues. Car number 65, Sean O'Brien giving Taylor a push. We've seen that don't work once, so, you know, we got to be aware that this has got to be careful, as these guys are coming towards the end now. The outside line's still struggling to get going. Really need to come and have some assistance here, because they've got the little pocket rocket, as we call it, of Jason Taylor in first place currently on that bottom line, dragging that line along single-handedly. There we go. There's help now as well. That's car number 5. That's Carl Amon has jumped up into the top line to try and pull them along. We really want to see a two side-by-side finish, Michael. I don't want to see an anticlimactical finish to this race. I don't want to just see Taylor go across the line. I want to see Taylor go across the line, but I want to see him go across the line by a nose hair. I don't want to see him go across the line by a car's length.
Yeah, well, I think that things are definitely going to get a little closer here as we come towards the end, because the 65, the 48, the 11, the 00, none of those cars want to take third, fourth, fifth. You know, they want that win, especially the 00, Demarius Sickenbottom. He definitely wants to move up there. So it's just trying to figure out when. As we see, that high line is starting to get a little bit of a push. Not quite enough there, though. Kind of losing it in the turns, but great way to move himself up into 5th place. Hickenbottom started back in 30th or something like that. He's up 29 positions. So even further back in 30th. You see
car number 48, Matt White.
Matt White, yeah.
Yeah, blinking, unfortunately, again, right in front of Robert Anderson. The outside line needs to decide, get this moving. You've got to try and do something with that outside line. At the moment, Carl Amon is leading it. He popped up out of the inside line, which I feel may have been somewhat of a mistake with 12 laps to go. I'm not going to lie. But that outside line needs a push, and they've got to be working together at the moment. Carl Amon is trying to bring them up alongside, but at the same time has not really got that outside line moving, and now a decision needs to be made. Do you stay on the outside and try and push that along, because clearly the bottom line is working faster. So as we say, giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, says Robert Stone, and here we go again. There's the outside push.
Yeah, as soon as they come into the corner, though, they kind of lose that momentum. They're not able to stick with each other because of the corner. I will say this: I was reading through the rule book earlier. There is something in the rules about blinking cars and having an inconsistent network connection. So that might be looked at some point for Matt White there. If that continues, he might even, I don't want to speak for the stewards, but there is something noted in the rules for that. As we see once again that high line, as soon as it comes through the turn, they're gonna get a nice push in the backstretch. Oh, not even this time.
Yeah,
This time they don't even have a run.
No, they're not really moved forward as far here. Carl Amon has pulled the pack up beside him, but he needs car 57 there. He needs Cameron Stone to really be helping him out, coming around into turn 1 and 2, because he's just not getting that help. He can get the cars up beside him now. He normally gets up into round about 5th or 6th place here, which he has done again, but it's here. And this is where they start dropping back. Look at that. Yeah, 10 laps to go. Carl Amon trying to make the move, trying to get them pulled, but he just can't. There's no help behind him. There we go.
Really having a tough time.
Push him along. They need to side draft through the corners. Yeah, and he's just leaving. There's just too much there. Carl Amon trying to make that move, trying to get as close as he possibly can. But that high line just can't get moving at the moment. You almost want to be over.
I think Robert Anderson's also backing off a little bit from Matt White here. So this is a great opportunity for them if they can get up with the lead cars. Because Matt White has been blinking, I think Robert Anderson's a little nervous about getting up too close to him. And that is an opening for the top line, but they just aren't able to get pushed up there.
Yeah, we're into the last 10 now, 9 to go. There we go. Look, that's the move they need. Carl Amon just dragged them all the way up now into the top 5. See, I thought Kyle was going to drop into that gap there. He had that gap to drop down into that bottom pack if he really wanted to.
I think they might have a good push here. This might be their opportunity. Coming down around 9 laps to go, 8 laps to go. I apologize. 8 laps to go. This is the closest they've been to the front in a while, as we see the 11 car coming up top there. Robert Anderson's going to give that top line a try.
Yeah, but does Robert Anderson give the top line a try because he's trying to get out of the way of car number 48?
No, I think this is a move here. 48. Matt White has been pretty consistent for a while now. So yeah, I think that might have been the move that the top line needed. Maybe they needed just like 1 or 2 more cars just to kind of get them going there. We see
don't rub him
Taylor
sideways.
and O'Brien are still out front.
Don't rub him on that bottom left or that rear right. We've seen that before, and that didn't go down too well. We're now going to have a 2-wide battle. 8 laps to go here. Anderson on your left, Taylor on your right. And as I say that, the camera goes around the opposite way. So Taylor's now on the left, Anderson's on the right. Can't win them all. We can only predict which way the camera's going to go.
Really catching a good run now.
Oh, no.
Are they in it? They were almost able to save it.
Oh.
7 laps to go, and we go under caution. That is so frustrating for those leaders. That high line had just gotten up there.
Just started working.
Cameron just got, oh man, you got to feel bad for Cameron Stone.
Oh, it was Anderson and car number 5.
Yeah, it was Anderson.
Carl Amon.
But yeah, Cameron Stone got the worst of that one because he was right behind him.
Yeah, he was up in the air and gone. See the front 2.
Wow, Jason Taylor able to save it there with John O'Brien. That was a great save by Jason Taylor. I know a lot of these other cars, you know, were involved here, but that save by Jason Taylor really might have saved his race. See if he got any damage from that.
I tell you what, Ralph Hutchinson made it through there, and he was doing a little bit of a wiggle on the way through that one. Here is Ralph here. You're going to see the incident at the up in front of us currently. I think I'm a little bit too far back, actually. I need to be a little bit there, closing up. But if you keep an eye on Ralph here, when this incident happened, car number 54, he drops down, hits the brakes, avoids one, looks for the gap, goes, I'm going to have some of that, and he avoids that as well. And he's sitting in the car now, smiling his head off in 15th place. So well done to you, Ralph. There's Stella driving. But here we go, under caution, 6 laps to go. Son of a beep! Yeah, I know, 5 laps. Oh, man, I thought we were going to get it there, dude. I really did.
Can't tell if Jason Taylor got any damage there. It looked like he might have, but it's really hard to see.
Yeah.
If he got any damage, that's going to open the door to Sean O'Brien, as we see.
I don't know if he
did.
did,
The 54 getting the lucky dog?
Yeah, he didn't really get...
It was a heck of a save.
Yeah,
he could have been involved.
It's the same bump draft, and again, you know, we say do it down the straight, that's fine. But he kind of, Carl Amon just kept him bumping him round the corner. See it here on the right-hand side. Look at car number 11 and 5. That's where it's going to start from. We're looking at car number 12 currently up front. Moving again, side to side, side to side, side to side. Coming around the right counter before we go into turn 1. Go again, he's attached to his bumper. And in about 10 seconds time, there we go. Oh, I thought they'd saved that, but poor Cameron Stone was gone, wasn't he? He was up in the air, he disappeared before he'd even gone anywhere. So the next gen must be nerve-wracking to drive, yeah. Just as we were predicting it was going to be okay, and it weren't.
I don't have a lot of experience with the next gen. I have heard lots of people say that it is very tough to drive. I've been doing some Xfinity, but I don't really have any experience in the next gen yet, and it's everything I've heard about it is it's one of the toughest cars to drive in the game. So,
well, you know, maybe I'll jump in and do some tomorrow. See if I get any time during the day once I go to bed, of course, whenever that may be, being that it's 10 to 4 in the morning. So Sean O'Brien, Jason Taylor, Alex Princeton, Demaris Hinkenbottom in 4th there. He managed to get through that little bit of chaos. Carl Amon is back in 5th there. Not really quite sure what kind of state your car is in.
I think he came out pretty clean there. He was involved, but he didn't take too much damage, I don't think.
Yeah.
We're coming around, 4 laps to go. See how many more laps the pace car is going to be out. The pace car might be coming in this late.
Lights are out. We've got 4 laps to checkered. Can we get this run down? Can we stay clean for this last part of the racetrack? Lights are out on the part of the Mustang in the front. He's going to be peeling off into the pits. Jason Taylor will pick up the field. Will kind of theoretically become your leader.
Get a win for number 9, says Bryson Alexander. He's right up there in 4th place right here.
Yep.
3rd place, Alex Princeton. He's got a chance.
Anybody within this top pack, really, top sort of 6 to 8 have got a chance if they can time it right. Pace car's in. Pace car's in. Here we go.
Taylor, great jump there.
We're racing. Yeah, Taylor got the jump there. Took straight down the inside line. Did you see him come off straight off that outside area? He dropped straight down onto the inside line. He said, "Turn around. Right, you're going to do it, mate. You've got to go past me. You either go up to the top." That outside line again, straight away. Alex Princeton struggling to get that outside line going, and straight away drops down into 6th place. He needs help out on that outside line. Otherwise, it's going to be a one-man sitting duck. 3 to go in green. Here we go. Stay tuned. This is what we've been waiting for. This is why we've been going for nearly over 2.5 hours already here tonight from International Daytona. Princeton needs that push, guys. He needs the push to make this work. Free to go. Coming across the line. 2 to
2
go.
laps to go. It's getting close here. Getting close. The 32 is moving around quite a bit on the back of the 9.
Yeah, that's
After that.
We've seen how that one works out, and that doesn't always work out cool. As I sit here tapping my pen frantically, Carl Anon now moves on to the outside line. I'm not quite sure that would have been my maneuver. Damaris Hinkerbottom currently in 3rd place.
We see a checkup. We see a checkup. Oh, they're wrecking.
No.
And we are going to go with the green-white checker here.
Oh.
We're going to try to do it again.
Anderson. Ah. I need to get behind that.
They had to check up on the top line.
Yeah, there.
Chaos ensued back there.
Oh. Anderson, that's car number 63 involved, 38 as well. Van der Zandt, Carl Amon. Apparently these guys have been involved in some hootie tootie as well, and that's another one. Van der Zandt and Carl Amon have also come into contact. Amon jumped straight to the pits, nowhere for him to go. 3 laps to green. Oh.
We got 3 chances at a green-white checker. Hopefully we'll be able to get this together, get it started and get it finished. If not, then we're going to have our finishing order defined by, you know, wherever the caution flag comes out. But we're hoping we can get this done on a green.
All the while, Taylor and O'Brien have stayed managing relatively clean through all of this at the moment. Stuff's happened behind them. There was a check-up on the outside, and that's where it caused this last caution. This is where we're at now, guys. So stay tuned, because you're not going to want to miss the final ending to this, what's been a quite an enthralling race. We've got Christopher still in the pits, Ward in the pits, Preston McRae, Van der Zandt is still in the pits as well. Robert Anderson has just gone in as well. Carl Amon is in the pits at the same time. The lights are still on the pace car. We've got 3 to go.
Now, do you remember early in the race, the 12 car and the 65 car were both almost a lap down?
Yeah, Carl,
now
they did. They stayed on that lead lap. That was what we were discussing, wasn't we?
Yeah, they were right there on the lead pack. They came out of the pits together, just the 2 of them. So they got caught by the leaders, stuck with them, were able to stay out. Now look at them as we see the lucky dog going by.
Cameron Stone, they just won't be satisfied till they wreck all my cars. Oh, Cameron. Come on, buddy, chin up. You were doing so well. Down in 22nd position at the moment, mate. You are safe in 20 seconds, so, you know, that's where you're going to finish. Nobody behind can catch you. Jason Baker has got 3, well, he might catch you. He's got 3 laps, but it's whether or not he's going to get it done. So here we go. Can we get green, green, green? What do we reckon?
I don't know. It had been running clean for so long, and then now that we're towards the end here, it's that high line. Yeah, it's that high line. It's whether or not they can stay clean. They keep trying to push in the corners, and that time there was a checkup and just the accordion effect back there. It just
yeah,
everybody got squeezed up, and
I can't see pushing in the corners works. You know what I mean? Robert Stone, let it out. Just let it out, Cameron. Run in chat, go for it. Lights are out. Lights are out. And that is Hoytsma just coming out the pits as well. Hoytsma, their car number 7, has been in the pits for 2 minutes, coming out of the field in 24th place, gets out in front of the pace car. Not going to get, I don't know how much time, whether or not it'll get a chance to actually come around and join the back of the field before we go green. There's cars out of sync at the moment as well. Rob Tracy there as well, car number 33, currently in 10th place. There's people in front of him. Matt Dicciani is in 15th place as well, but
I think it's DeCiani.
DeCiani?
That's my guess, DeCiani. Sounds Italian.
Digiani. I've watched too much mafia programs. Daytona. There you go. Let it out. Give him hell, that brutal man. I'll tell you what, Robert. Thank you so much for joining us in chat. You kept me smiling at this oddly an hour. But here we go. Coming to the end. Jason Taylor, Sean O'Brien, Damaris Hinkenbottom. Outside line again. Jason Taylor, if I was him, I would have dropped down on the inside already. Lights are out. Come on. Let's just get the free to green. Kyle Amon making his move back through the field. He's survived a couple of incidents tonight, is Kyle. If he comes through and takes the victory, I'll be very impressed. Here we go. Here we go. And I haven't said it all broadcast. I decided myself we're going to say it right about now. Jiggity, 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 jiggity. Let's go racing as we go across. Sorry, Michael, I had to get it in. 2 laps remaining on the green flag, or Jason Taylor is currently leading us away. That top line again, struggling to get going straight off the bat, but we've got Taylor and O'Brien, 2 laps left here tonight at Daytona as we're going to be coming across this runner. Here we go. Keep your eyes on the 54. Ralph Hutchinson is a long way back. Currently down in 9th place. Oh, they're 3 wide. Damiris there as well, taking it 3 wide, hitting the bottom as well. Ralph Hutchinson making his way up through the order, but currently up in front is Jason Taylor. 1 to go.
Running away with it at this point, but this is where everything comes together. This is for all the marbles here. Final lap. We're gonna get a white flag. We're gonna finish here. You see Jason kind of blocking the bottom line.
Well, he didn't block the bottom
3
line.
wide.
He blocked the top and bottom. There was nowhere for him to go there as well. O'Brien's got to be looking now. Here we go. Car number 20 as well was in the mix. Devin Medeiros.
We had somebody shouting out for Devin earlier in the chat.
Yeah, they're going to be 3 wide. Mark Hutchinson, look, Hutchinson there, car number 54. It's coming through. They got 1 turn left. Here we go. This is going to be it. Is this going to be Taylor's to lose? They're going to be coming down to the line now. 2 line
Devin's
left
close.
Right. Devin's
close. Got the push.
Here we go. Coming down to
Does
the
he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it.
Oh, they're going to toss it. Devin got it. Devin got it.
Medeiros got it across the line.
They're wrecking at the end, but wow, that was, you said you wanted a hair finish. That was a hair finish.
Medeiros got it at the line.
Oh my goodness. 0.00. Closer than that. That was insane.
I'm trying to find what I want. The camera angle. Here we go. Look at Medeiros on the left. He got this on the front down. Taylor comes up, tries to strike contact, and it was already job done. Medeiros has got it on the outside. Takes the victory with Taylor in second, Stafford in 3rd place, and that is the finish that we was expecting here tonight. Absolutely
impressive.
Incredible. There we go, guys, as well. So let's bring you the final results here at Daytona. Take it away, Michael.
Our final results. Devin Medeiros takes the win with 8 thousandths of a second. 8 thousandths of a second. Jason Taylor, 2nd place. Joe Stafford in 3rd, who was waiting in the infield care center for us. John O'Brien, 4th. Ralph Hutchinson, 5th. Matt White, 6th. Tanner Marty, 7th. Demarius Higginbottom comes up in 8th. Kyle Ammon in 9th place. Rob Tracy takes 10th. Alec Princeton in 11th. Robert Anderson, our pole sitter, drops down to 12th. Randy Drumhiller, 13th. Patrick Mucci in 14th. Matt DiCiani in 15th. Chad Sanner in 16th. Dustin Hall, 17th. Bryson Hicksonbaugh in 18th. Go a little further down here. Alex Vandersant in 19th. Derek Cateman in 20th. Preston McRae, 21st. Jason Baker in 22nd. Lucas Hoitzma in 23rd. Cameron Stone in 24th. Brandon Pierce in 25th. Raymond Root, 26th. Kevin Steele, 27th. Jonathan Delaney in 28th. Sorry, I lost my place. Mike Christopher in 29th. Blake Giglio in 30th. Josh Ward in 31st. Brandon Hastings, 32nd. Dalton Mobley, 33rd. Adam Benefield, 34th. Jeff Hooper in 35th. Chris Cloud in 36th. Damon Acerenza in 37th. Zach Roethlisberger in 38th. Rounding out your field is Lance Ripka in 39th.
Yeah,
what a race.
Those guys are quite a long way down, guys. Obviously, we brought you some of the non-finishers as well, but I think you've got to admit here, Devin Medeiros takes it at the line there as well from Jason Taylor. We did say that we might get, Taylor might take the victory. He didn't. Medeiros got the victory at
the teammates celebrating on the checkered flag here. This is great.
Yeah, absolutely unbelievable. Right, we got Jason Taylor in the waiting room, but let's have a chat to your victor tonight, Devin Medeiros. Devin, how are you, sir?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Mate, I'm splendid. I've just sat and watched an amazing race. I've just had an incredible ending, which is what I wanted. And I think at the end of the day, it's just been absolutely outstanding. How are you, though, more importantly? You're the one that was in the car, and you've won it by a nose hair at the end.
Oh my gosh, I'm so surprised that I was able to get there. Honestly, that was just luck. I made the right call for that first caution. I went to the back of the field, didn't get in it, and man, I just got lucky all night, honestly.
Come on, don't play
points
yourself,
here.
Dale.
That's going to give you an extra 40 points. So a win and you're in, plus you should be up into the top 25. This could be big for you. This might have put you right into the playoffs. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I think I'm like 200 points out of the playoffs, but I am trying to get back into the top 25, so this is definitely going to help a lot with that. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Well, this is the last week, so this should push you into the top 25. That should get you into the playoffs. You should be good to go next week.
Yeah.
You got to be hopeful, right?
Yeah.
Come on,
Also, big shout out.
Just hold on a minute here, Devin. Right, come on. You come into the booth to come and have a chat with me. Sound excited. You just won the Daytona International Speedway. You've just rocked it on the last lap. You've gone and won by no further than a nose there that sticks out of my granddad. And you've got to sound happy, Devin. Come on.
Trust me, I'm really excited. I'm not very emotional, but I'm sweating really bad.
Well,
you've got some shout outs in the YouTube chat channel there. So Bryson Alexander and go ahead.
Yeah, Bryson and Rob Stone said, great job, well done, good job as well. And then we've got, have a good time, find your love. I don't know why I keep doing this, but I've removed this constantly from me chat. I'm not quite sure. Do you need to find love, Devin, or you're good? Just hit me up now, because there's a lovely individual in chat who's just come and said if everybody wants to find love, click on the link below, and your instant princess is right at the end.
I've seen that in some of the broadcast chats before.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's nearly 4 o'clock in the morning for me. Bear with me. I promise you, I do get calmed down a little bit. But look, dude, outstanding drive. Stay clean. Managed to avoid the wrecks. And at the end of the day, you've done a stellar job. You've won the Daytona International Speedway event. Amazing, right?
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. Well, there you go, Devin. Much love for joining me and Michael in the booth. Do you want to give anybody a shout out? That's what I was going to say.
I do. So my teammate Tanner, I think he finished 7th. He helped me a lot right there on that restart. He pushed me, got me out there. Also Stafford, he stuck with me. I think right there, pushed me. And then Dalton Mobley, he adjusted our setup so it was not loose, because I spun out earlier in the week in an A Open because it was really loose. And honestly, without that, I don't know if I'd be able to hold the line, that top like I did whenever I was getting pushed right there at the end. So, shout out to him. Also, Pat, everyone at DGR, EPI, Steps, and my parents, I think, might be watching, and my grandma. That's all I got.
That's all you got?
Yep.
Pretty much everyone from the Medeiros family. If you are watching, Devin says hello. There you go. Thank you, Devin Medeiros, your victor from Daytona. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Right, I want to have a word with this young gentleman here who's just joined me in the booth this evening as well. Jason Taylor, welcome in, young sir. How are you?
Not great.
Jason, you've just lost a race by the nose hair. How I'm not surprised you're not great. I've got to be honest, but I want to I want to just sort of give you a compliment on how well you did tonight, because at one point you were a lap down, then you're back up, then you're single-handedly getting in front of lines on the outside and inside and dragging them up as if you've got a leash and you're just pulling people forward, and it ends like that. What's going through your head?
First of all, it was a complete team effort. Everybody at Black Flag, Randy Drumhiller, Sean O'Brien, Robert Anderson was key in getting us started up at the front on pole and on the outside. Just control the race is what we wanted to do, and I feel like that's what we did. And me and Sean had a hiccup getting speeding penalties, getting on pit road the first time. Got that squared up, and then we're racing there for the win, and we control the race. And somebody who's mostly mathematically eliminated from playoff contention wants to come up there and snag away what our team worked so hard to get, and it's just disappointing.
I think, though, the win was there. The win was there for that outside line. They had the run. I think from Devon's point of view, it's kind of it's disappointing, but he's there to race like the rest of the 39 cars. It wouldn't have mattered if the guy in last come through and took the victory. They're all there to race at the end of the day. And I think you've got to give a certain amount of props to your other competitors, because, there was a few wrecks, and they were more towards the end. You ran pretty much the majority of the race on a clean green flag. There was only the stage yellows that was really forced upon it. But at the end of the day, overall, from your perspective, it was a good, clean race as you go along, wasn't it?
No.
That wasn't involved in much.
Absolutely, for sure. Great team effort again by Black Flag. We did what we needed to do. Everybody else around us was racing really well. Absolutely, it was a great race. I'm not saying Devon shouldn't be out there racing for the win. I'm just crushed in the moment. It is what it is.
Yeah, I do want to say you had a great save to keep that car going. Was it the first green-white checkered? You got tapped by I want to say it was the 11 car, and you were able to keep it on the track and keep going, and that really was just an impressive save. I was blown away that you were able to keep it going without. I mean, I couldn't tell if you had any damage or not. Like I was very impressed by that. You had a great night all night long. You were up towards the front, and even when you guys had your issue, you were still able to fight your way back and stay on the lead lap. And obviously, it paid off in the end with the second place. You want the victory, but I thought you had a great race, and like you said, great teamwork. You and Joe Stafford there, and O'Brien. That was great.
I appreciate you guys putting on the show for us tonight, as always. Again, I'm just heartbroken in the moment, and I'll get over it when I get over it. And yeah, it was a great race overall. I'm sure the fans loved the finish, and get back out there at Darlington and go to work for Sean and Bobby in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and there as well. Thank you very much for joining us, Jason, and congratulations on your second place.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Right, so next up in the booth is we've got Joe Stafford has joined us. Joe, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Well, considering it's 4 a.m. in the morning for me, mate, I'm doing pretty well. I think my big jug of coffee's kicked in that I put on before I started, and probably ain't going to get asleep for a few hours. But all in all, mate, I'm very well. Overall, tell us, how was your race? How did you get on all the way through? You finished third in the end. Blinding ending. What about the middle?
Yeah, so the race was all over, up and down. The first pit stop right before stage one, I shot pit road and got a black flag, and I just barely made it one lap down. If it was one more lap left to go in stage one, I probably would have went 2 laps down, and that would have probably changed my whole race. And Yeah, they're on the last pit stop. I got hit from someone on pit road and got spun around, so I lost draft and got lucky with the caution, and everything played its part and played out pretty well for the rest of the race.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the end was what I wanted, right? Because you know, it's disappointing if you're not watching an oval when you haven't got four cars, two lines of cars rushing down to the start to the checkered flag side by side at the end. You know, from your perspective, coming into the end few laps, how scary is it? Because we don't get the concept of this. You know, we're up in the booth. This is why we're here. How scary is it? Can you control your nerves in that last few laps?
Yeah, so I took a few deep breaths there right before that last green white checkered, and I think that helped out a lot. And yeah, going down the back stretch, it was just so hectic, and I stuck with Devin. Devin, I know him personally, and he definitely deserves a win. And happy I could push him up there. And coming out of 4, it was really so hectic, and I kind of wanted to dip in between them, but there was just no room, and it would have just wrecked the whole field. So I just stuck with Devin.
Well, look, at the end of the day, third is better than last, right? Well, not last, because
Right.
there were people down further laps. But obviously,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, third is better than getting further down the order on people on the lead lap. So if you look at the lead lap, Devon's done 1:66. You know, at the end of the day, you would have been down probably about the 13th place. So it's better to keep them 10 places. You know, going into the playoffs, Darlington next week. You know, what's your hopes? What do you think Darlington are going to go?
I'm just hoping to make Darlington. I haven't raced much in 100% this year, and kind of disappointed I haven't raced as much as I would have liked to. But hopefully I can make it out to Darlington, and I like Darlington a lot, so hopefully I have something there too.
Oh, well, awesome there, Joe. Thank you so much for joining us in the booth. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to before you go?
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Chester Water Authority. They've been on my car this whole year, and they've really supported this whole year. Shout out to them. Vicres, JCTV, Team Watson Setup Shop has been making some killer setups these past few weeks, and they will continue to do so. And shout out to Josh, Leo, Austin, and Joe for spotting and crew chiefing throughout this race.
Well, there you go, guys, and that is Joe Stafford. Joined us. Joe, congratulations on your third place this evening.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Well, there you go, Michael. Another race done and dusted. What's your final word on this?
I love Daytona. This was a great race. We saw some great clean action. We saw the big one. We had a great close ending there. You know, it just, you couldn't ask for a better ending. You got the kid coming from behind, just out of nowhere, and you know, 0.008 of a second to cross the line. You know, that's less than the length of a hair. It was a great race. I'm glad to be here with you, and I really had a great experience tonight. Hope everybody watched and enjoyed everything, and go ahead and like and subscribe.
Yeah, that's the important thing. 3 things: like, subscribe, and turn on the bells for notifications. All right, even if you don't turn on the bells, just like and subscribe. Most important. But yeah, Michael, it's been a pleasure as it has spending the last few hours with you here covering this absolutely incredible race, guys. But that is it from us here at JPB. Much love for joining us. As I say, if you are watching it live, please like, subscribe. If you are watching it back and you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. That would be most absolutely important sections. But guys, that is it now. Bringing to the end of the broadcast here tonight. So all that's left for me to say is, from myself and Michael, take care. Have a great week. And we never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.